We do a 501(c) and just gather a shitload of money through GoFundMe and when I do the show. And we collect money for filing and legal, your time. No profit, nothing to me, nothing to anybody. Only for the lawsuit. Because I take on righteous cases that if we can prove our point, we help thousands of people. To me, it's worth it. I fund it, I get people to fund it. But we would have you at our beck and call. That's truly what I want. But I mean, for real fees and real filings, I mean, it's not like poor mouth, but I really want to go after shit.
All right, let's talk about definitely.
Like I'm serious. I mean, really good cases. And I think the more success we have, the more donations we get. But they're cases that no one else would take.
Yeah, and I looked into the rule. There's a specific rule on advertising, pre-trial publicity thing, specific ethical rule, and I'm familiar with it. I want to do more research to make sure we're covered on that. But I can. That's not a problem. I just dropped a memo, and we can do that. I think we could do it contemporaneously with the case if it's handled properly. I think.
So when you hear this sound, don't be neutral. Rethink your behaviour. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Mark your calendar for Saturday, August 19th as the first 10,000 fans to the Rockies-Brewers game will walk away with a Nolan Arenado bobblehead, courtesy of Brakes Plus. All gates open at 4 p.m. for the 6:10 game, so make sure to get there early and grab your tickets now at Rockies.com.
Super fresh sushi, juicy prime rib, spectacular all-you-can-eat crab legs. Got them all and much more at limited time only special lower prices during our hot summer meal deal at the Farmer's Pit Buffet at Isle Casino Hotel Blackhawk. You don't want to miss the best dining value in Blackhawk for brunch, lunch, or dinner this August and September during the hot summer meal deal at Isle Casino Hotel Blackhawk.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and in '09 it was me, your fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when one of my embers landed on dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
It might help lots of Tom.
Feeling down.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. How can I help you? I want to solve your problems. I want to answer your questions. I want to take your complaints and make your life just a little easier. That's what we do each and every day. Today we have an attorney in from our referral list at referralist.com to do nothing more than help you. We can talk to you if you've been accused of a crime, or we can talk to you about something I want to talk about, and that is credit slander. Now, that's probably a very difficult case, and I'll tell you why. Usually people who've had their credit slandered, they don't have money to sue. And even if they do, how do you prove damages? Yet, the law does provide for people who've been slandered. And, you know, over the years I've been keeping track of this. I don't keep track of everything, but I did keep track of credit slander. I'm going to tell you this. There are a group of people who use credit as blackmail. Let me give you an example. A landlord, for example, he says, hey, John, Mary, Harry, Peter, Louise, you just moved out of my apartment. You owe me a carpet. And they say, no, no, that carpet was ruined when I moved in. No, no, you owe me a carpet. So I'm going to bill you for it. Or I'm taking out of your deposit and you still owe me another $1,000. So Mary, Louise, Peter, John, Harry, whoever it is, they don't pay. He doesn't take him to court, because if he took him to court, he may lose, because they'll simply say, look, this carpet was ruined when I moved in. Instead, he puts a mark on their credit. Now they go to buy a car or to rent a place or to buy a place, and all of a sudden, they can't do it. So they go back to Mr. Landlord and say, Mr. Landlord, could you help me out here? I'm trying to buy a place or buy a car, or I'm trying to get a credit card. I can't, because it says here I owe you $1,500 for this carpet. He says, pay me. Credit blackmail. Doesn't just happen there. It happens with any number of things. The most egregious case happened many years ago with a woman named Linda and Yellow Cab. They were in a parking lot accident. Yellow Cab ran into her car. Under normal circumstances, if it wasn't a parking lot, the Yellow Cab driver would have gotten a ticket. But he didn't. Instead, they billed her for damage to the Yellow Cab, as if it was an unpaid taxi bill. Yellow Cab sent her a bill for $600 some odd, plus loss of use. She says, I'm not going to pay this. It's not my fault. In fact, you ran into me. Did they take her to court? No. What did they do? They actually reported it on her credit, that she had an unpaid bill at Yellow Cab. Now imagine that. She had bad credit. She was going to be forced to pay. That's credit blackmail. I can't tell you how many times this happens. Creditors don't take you to court. They don't even have to. If they go to court, they would need proof. And a judge may throw it out. Instead, they blackmail you. They put it on your credit. You may have things on your credit that you truly owe. For that we can't help you. You didn't pay a doctor's bill. You didn't pay for an appliance with a credit card. You didn't pay for something. But when you're accused of something, or when someone claims you owe them money, that's where it gets sticky. Because the credit reporting agencies do nothing to verify. Nothing. Nothing. They say they verify. Do you know what verification consists of? I'll give you a personal example. I had auto pay from my checking account. Auto pay. Auto pay. For a certain bill. Auto pay. It was Nordstrom. A credit card. I wanted to make sure my credit was perfect. They debited my card, my account late for their own payment, and then reported me late. I called them and said, do you understand? I'm on auto pay. They said, sorry, we can't help you. Auto pay. So how many times do people have bad credit due to a mistake of someone else? This pisses me off. Mark Cranak's with us, attorney at law. Mark, you and I have talked about this a long time. You can't do a class action because all of the cases are different. So it's not a class. And individuals, they're not going to go after one little mistake. It seems to be a crime that people get away with.
Tom, there's two things that I think people should keep in mind regarding credit errors. One is persistence, and the other is documentation. If you're persistent in trying to correct an inaccurate item in your credit report and you keep good documents, the law is on your side. What you need to do is dispute the items directly with the companies that are furnishing the information, typically a debt collector, and also directly with the credit bureaus. And look, if it's an inaccurate reporting, one of two things is ultimately going to happen. Either the item is going to be permanently deleted from your credit file, or it's not. If it's not, and you have disputed it previously, then what's going to happen? The thing's going to be on there, and you're going to suffer real-world meat and potatoes damages. You're going to be denied apartment leases, denied a home.
I'm pissed off at that. What do I do about it, man?
Well, then you sue them, and you say, look, I told you it was inaccurate. I told you to delete it, and when I say you, I'm referring to the credit bureaus and the furnishers, depending on who's responsible, and you didn't delete it. And now, look, I was denied my home loan. Well, the law's on your side. By the way, you can pick up attorney fees. There's a mandatory award of attorney fees under the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
What if I, though, say I was on auto pay and I can show it, but they say I wasn't?
Well,
or they say, well, you still have responsibility. How is that? How do you fight something like that? It's their word against mine.
Yeah, it's to be honest with you, Tom, I mean, if you think about it, the touchstone of the Fair Credit Reporting Act is accuracy, or the flip side, inaccuracy. Is the thing that's being reported, is it accurate or not? that could be a matter that's, you really have to delve into, depending on the specific facts and circumstances. For example, you used the landlord-tenant example. Very common source of credit slander. But what if the landlord, what if the tenant did ruin the property? The landlords, typically what they're doing, the big corporate ones, they bundle up their alleged debt and they sell them, I don't know what, quarterly to like debt collectors.
But what do you do in a case like that? Let's just get down and dirty. What do you do if I said I'm on auto pay and you marked me late? I mean, they say, no, we show you weren't that month. Or, so I'm just saying, these are real life things. What do you do in crap like that? That's the part that pisses me off. You really can't do anything. I mean, we can't go to court on that.
You could. I mean, you could sue them, but you're going to have to prove, I think, that it was inaccurate, that the item was inaccurate, and furthermore, you have to prove that you suffered damages as a result of the inaccurate item you're crediting.
Exactly. And how do you quantify damages when you didn't get a loan? How do you quantify that damage?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. And under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Tom, damages are very broadly defined to include things like aggravation, emotional distress, because if you think about it, that's a good bit of what those cases are about. I mean, you get some of these people, they have inaccurate, derogatory items in their credit reports, and they're dealing with this for years. And the damages start to wrap.
Yeah, but can you prove damages like that? I mean, that's the point I want to make, is that it's so difficult. I think they do it because they can get away with it.
Here's what I think, Tom. I think that there are not a lot of lawyers that are willing to take on these credit bureaus for the reason you're mentioning, because most lawyers, look, they're lazy, and you're like, well, if you get hit by a drunk Coca-Cola truck driver running through an intersection, I'll take that case because it's worth the $10 billion, and I don't have to do anything except send a demand letter. These cases, you're going to have to work your tail off on, but if you find a good case, and if you find a lawyer who's willing to put his nose to the grindstone and litigate this case, you can get a good result. I'll give you an example. There was the last big verdict against Equifax that I'm aware of was out in Portland, Oregon, and it was $18.6 million. And then they were also entitled to a post-trial award of mandatory attorney fees on top of that. $18.6 million.
But you have to show that they knew about it and didn't correct it, right?
You have to show that the reporting was. Here's the three.
Are you willing to take on a good credit case if you find one?
You better believe I am. And, and there's three components to it, Tom, and they all have the same fact pattern. You got somebody, first of all, you have to have pretty decent credit other than the inaccurate derogatory items. Why is that? Well, if you have a bunch of accurate
right, yeah. If you're a deadbeat, but if this is only one or two things and you can show nothing else is amiss, then you got a better argument.
Yeah, because then you can show causation. You could say what caused me to be denied was the inaccurate items. But if your credit
and if you only have one or two, and you can, then they might say, wait a minute, this guy is a model citizen. He's trying to put his life together, and he's trying to keep it accurate. And these idiots put him on auto pay, and boom, it ruins him. All right. Let's talk. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Lisa, what's going on in your life, Lisa? How can we help you?
Well, I took my boat in to be repaired, the fiberglass part of it. When I picked it up, fiberglass looked fine, but they dropped my trailer or did something to the trailer, so the coupler is bent.
Coupler? What is...
The coupler, the part that goes around the ball.
Oh, okay. So your trailer is bent. The boat repair's fine, but the trailer now you cannot put on the ball. Is it bent there, or it just pulls crooked?
No, it won't even lock on.
And do they deny it?
No, they totally admitted. The son is, I guess, one of the co-owners.
Well, what are they going to do for you?
Well, they were supposed to fix it, and when I went to pick it up and they had fixed it, it was really loose. It was there was something really not right in there. And the new part the son told me he put on, he said he went to Jim's, got a new part, put it on.
This is such a simple problem. Is the tongue itself bent, or just the ball, or just the receiver part? Not the receiver, but the part that goes over the ball.
Yes. Just that was bent.
But is the tongue bent? Is it crooked?
No, the tongue is not bent.
Okay, well, this seems like it should be an easy thing to fix.
Doesn't it? That's what I thought, too. So I left the boat with them. They were supposed to fix it. When I picked it up, they had They said they put a new part on.
Yeah.
When I looked at it, it looked old. Like, it looked like a used part. When I said something
Well,
about
what do we do about it?
Loose. The son
What do we do about
me.
it? What's the last you heard? What do you want?
Well, right now I've talked to the dad, and the dad is refusing to pretty much do anything. He changes his mind.
So wait. So are they washing their hands? Are they saying they're done?
Yes, they basically said they'd see me in court.
Well, hold on. That's not so bad. How much will it cost to fix this thing?
Just under $700.
That's easy to get in small claims court. Who's going to fix it for you?
Not them.
Do you have it back?
Have lied and.
Do you have it back?
I'm sorry?
Do you have the trailer back?
I have the trailer.
Do you have documentation of them admitting they did it wrong or they broke it?
I actually have a voice recording.
And what does it say?
Basically, they admit that they did it wrong. The dad changes his mind 3 times on the tape.
Can you get that ready? Can you get that ready to play?
I can.
Hold on. See if she can get that ready to play, and then I'd like to call the place. Lisa, we're going to mention the name too, but I want to hear the recording, call the place, and see what we can do. It seems like a slam dunk to me. 303-713-TALK. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, the garage door company you should call. Hey, if you get up, can't open the door, the spring is broken, do you know that the spring actually keeps your door down? I mean, keeps your door up, I mean. You have to force it down because otherwise it's too heavy. If that spring breaks, you can't lift that door. It actually keeps the door open. That's what the spring is made to do. So when you close it, you're going against the spring. That's so when you open it, it opens so easily. Well, anyway, One Clear Choice Doors can fix your spring, your openers, anything you want. They'll do free inspections even, hinge tightening, bolts, adjustments and everything, just to put the sticker on the door and give you a written report. You got to mention Martino or get a new opener starting at $299 with Wi-Fi and battery backup. 303-565-6409, OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
Yeah, feel free to chime in on anything. Sounds good, thank you. We'll get this.
$700 for that? I think they got to chop it off and weld it.
If that ball was bent
No, not like you said, the receiver part. I don't think they could probably hammer it off. I imagine they got to cut it off and then weld a new one on.
I expect a lot of extra traffic as far as that goes. Weather forecast for today calling for scattered thunderstorms to be possible.
In the credit reports, if they have, the real good ones are if the person's dealing with it like for a long
I
time.
am so pissed at mine, that auto pay with Nordstrom. I am so pissed.
Did they? So they said you didn't pay and you did pay, basically.
No, I did. It was late. And I was on auto pay.
And so the auto pay screwed it up.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be against the company, you know, that was responsible.
Well, Nordstrom is. Nordstrom. I go online and I signed up for auto pay. And they didn't pull the payment.
They didn't pull the payment.
And they said, well, you should know. Why? Why do you have auto pay?
Right. Huh.
They auto paid themselves late. I didn't set it up through my bank.
That's BS.
I sent it up on there. You can see where I was on auto pay. But she said, well, 1 month you were off. And I said, does it make sense that I would be off auto pay 1 month? Does that make sense? That every other month I was on auto pay.
So she's claiming you're responsible because you did something to come off.
Or I should have noticed it wasn't paid. I swear to God, it's the truth. And I'm telling you, it's so clear. My payment history is perfect. It's perfect.
And you didn't go in there and do anything to like fuck it off. It was an internal error. Let's sue. I mean, I'll have a lawsuit on her. The thing is, the only thing is damage.
They probably just changed it. Good. That would have served my purpose. I pay the cost. I mean, I'm telling you that it's unbelievable to me that they would do that to me. Now, one was my fault, but it wasn't. It's a long story, but someone's in charge of making my payments, and they made a mistake on one other payment. That I can't do because that really was late.
I had her play it, and it sounds good, so I could hear it. It's long, but they're going. It's interesting. They keep going back and forth. So I just wanted to let you know.
How's the audio on Facebook?
I haven't.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll check that out. Rick said he tried to get online yesterday at like
If you have an IRS or state tax issue, don't fall
12:30. morning, and it was yesterday's.
We should have been on, we didn't have any issues whatsoever yesterday.
Okay.
Situation with the IRS.
What was he trying to get on? Facebook, YouTube, or live?
Off the bar.
No, I checked it. It's
Okay.
I don't know.
By using Heartland Tax Solutions. Call them right now at 303-996-6006 or go online, Heartland Tax
The
Solutions.
credit bureau case at Portland.
And Michelle.
The person was trying to get a credit card to get, they had a relative, as I understand, who needed like healthcare treatment and didn't have any healthcare insurance. And so they wanted to get credit so they could, you know, help that relative out, and they couldn't get the credit card. You know? So then you have a lot of, you know, real, you know, emotional damage.
Book online,
for that.
mybrotherscoming.com.
You know, so many people call me when they're injured. Say, Tom,
I forgot to tell you, I heard back from Coca-Cola about, I have the answer to the question about Coke Zero, and they're sending you some to try.
I'm the biggest.
Yes, I did, and she said, we would love to send him some to try, so they're sending you Coke Zero Sugar, and it is zero sugar, and it is 0 calories.
So why do they call it Coke?
Zero sugar.
Oh, Coke
Zero
Zero Sugar.
sugar.
Okay. That's it. You want lunch from
That's their official statement, and they gave me a link to look at more of it, but they're sending you. Not good. What? Get the good.
That's the one who does.
And I got you lunch.
Yeah.
His website, johnrfuller.com. johnrfuller.com. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Look for John Fuller on my referral list at referrallist.com.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7. A Google employee calls for more tolerant views on diversity, and the left-wing moonbats go crazy, even threatening to beat them. Ah, yes, diversity. Join me at 4 o'clock from wherever Talk Radio.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, let's talk. We got a recording, I guess. Lisa, what's the name of the boat place?
Mile High Boat Repair.
Mile High. Okay.
And I do need to tell you one other thing. I have asked them to replace the entire front part of the tongue, which includes the hydraulic brake.
I don't think that. No. They don't need to do that.
All one piece. It was just put on.
But they don't need to do that. If they can fix the ball part, really, I mean, that might be why they think you're unreasonable.
Well, and that could be. But they had the opportunity to.
Now, is that the $700 repair? The
yes,
whole.
Like 600 and he says 640 on the recording.
The whole.
More than that.
Hold on. I don't. When you say the hydraulics, all you were talking about, if it dropped on the tongue, you're telling me where the ball hooks in, it's bent and it won't fit on the ball, right?
It won't lock down. Well, it sort of locks down now, but they fixed it wrong. But when we talked to...
But in their mind, they fixed it.
No, it's not fixed.
In their mind, they fixed it.
No, he knows he fixed it wrong.
Okay. Then, let me ask you this. You said something about hydraulics. What do hydraulics have to do with that part of your tongue?
It is all one piece. It was all... The one piece was replaced when we contacted the...
What hydraulics do you want? What do you want replaced? You said the whole front part. What do you mean?
It's called the actuator. I want them to replace the actuator.
What is the actuator? Does it raise the tongue up and down?
The actuator is that whole front end of the trailer. It's that whole front piece. That's exactly what was just replaced.
It has to be welded on?
It has to be welded on.
Why would they owe you a whole front piece if just the ball part was destroyed or hurt?
When I took my boat to them, that piece was new, and they screwed
Okay,
it
but
up.
if they can fix it, they don't owe you a whole new one. I need a photograph, too. I need a photograph. Can you just play the recording? I mean, I want to hear what he said. Just play it.
Okay.
Hi, Boat Repair.
Hi, is Brian there?
That's Brian.
Hi, Brian. This is Lisa Neve.
How you doing, Lisa?
I'm good. How are you?
All right.
Good. So it sounds like after our conversation yesterday, we need to both calm down and maybe start again.
Well, I am not paying $640 for something I didn't do.
Okay.
I'll just tell you that right now.
Okay.
I'll give you $100 and that's about it.
Whoa. So let me...
What I broke on that thing was only worth $10 anyway.
All right, stop it. I heard enough. I hear what's going on, Lisa. He's saying what I broke is worth this. He's saying he's not going to put the whole front end on, and I kind of agree with him. I need to see some photographs of what you're talking about. You know, to ask somebody to replace the entire front end of a trailer for a ball hitch, Lisa, without me looking at it with a photograph or something, I'm not going to help you extort $700 from this guy. We should call him right now, Mile High Boat Repair, and tell him that she's calling and ask him if he fixed it and if he has anything to say about it, and then we'll come back. She can listen. We don't have to keep her on hold. Yeah, he admitted he broke something, but not the entire front end. His disagreement with you is not fixing it. His disagreement is not fixing or replacing the entire front end. That is what I hear, and I'm only hearing one side of the story, and I hear that. So, I don't know. And when it comes to breaking something, Mark Kranak, I think you'd agree as an attorney, if you break something, you have to make reasonable repairs to put it in pre-accident condition or pre-damaged condition, but you don't have to replace the whole thing, the whole front end.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that you have to generally speaking, put the person back in the situation, fix it.
But what if it was a new front end and he bent it? I know that pisses people off, but they're not required to replace the whole thing. Yes?
Lisa said she doesn't want us to call them.
Okay.
You're not listening to her story, so she's done.
Okay, good. I'm done too. Stephen, see, that was all right. And I think she's unreasonable, and I just want to say I did not make a judgment on Mile High Boat Repair except to say he doesn't agree with her at the extent of the damages. So we don't have to call Mile High. What's going on, Stephen?
Tom, what's going on with me is my wife has been scammed for over $40,000 on Facebook.
Wait a minute. $40,000 on Facebook? How?
Because have you ever heard of catfishing?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's basically what she's doing.
Catfishing usually has to do with emotional or love affairs where you think you're talking to someone of the opposite sex or of the same sex, doesn't matter, someone that you're attracted to, and they kind of sucker you into sending them money for airfare or getting together or loaning them money. So was your wife having an emotional affair?
That was all it was an emotional affair, because I have receipts where she took a few receipts of where she sent this money, and it was going to the United Arab Emirates.
Well, this is a personal question, but we don't know your last name. I'm not going to, I don't want to shame anyone, but are you having marital problems that she was reaching out to someone on the internet?
Well, the marital problems stem from her.
Okay.
She has mental problems.
Okay, and she had this emotional affair online with this guy?
Yeah, well, as far as I know, it's still going on, because what he did is create a fake Facebook page using a picture of a pastor from Corona, California.
Okay, so he is claiming to be this person. Does he
claiming to be a different person?
No, I know.
A different name. Yeah.
I know, a different name with a photo. And
yes.
Were they supposed to meet up?
Yes, that's what you could. I read the timeline on Messenger, on Facebook. He kept asking for more money. He claims he's working on an oil rig off of Vancouver, British Columbia.
And what is the money used for?
First of all, it was for parts.
For parts.
That's what he needed parts because he was going to jail because he he didn't have the money for the parts. So
well, what did that have to do with going to jail, though?
Because it was in the offshore of British Columbia.
But why would he go to jail? Why would he go to jail for not having parts? I don't understand.
Well, no, it was not for having parts. It's because the parts broke, a pipe broke, leaked oil into the ocean, and was killing fish.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to come back to you. This sounds intriguing. Wow. She got catfish for more than 40 grand. Glenn, what is your comment on that trailer hitch?
Hey, Tom, this is Glenn. Yeah. the actuator that locks the ball down on trailers with hydraulic brakes, so they're not electric brakes, they're actually hydraulic, and they're called impulse. They work when you hit the brakes on the vehicle towing, it pushes against the ball, and that has a piston in it, and it applies the brakes.
Yeah.
Depending on how hard you're hitting the brakes on the cab or the vehicle you're driving it with, it applies them normally to the trailer.
I understand. So it's actually connected to the ball, to where the ball.
It's the same piece that hooks over the ball.
Because
and the actuator, the ball in.
The actuator on my horse trailers used to be its own separate little box that had, I think, a weight in it or something that, you know, it felt the momentum, or you know what I'm saying, the inertia, and when you pressed on the brake, it would feel that and do it automatically.
Yeah, a lot of them. So if you pick up a U-Haul, the actual component that locks the ball down, the backside of that mechanism, is the piston. It's like a foot pedal for your brake in your car.
Okay.
Against the actuator on some models. So that's probably what she's getting at.
And it could have been damaged, she's saying.
Yeah, that's probably what happened there.
All right. Well, if it was damaged, they would owe it to her. We need to see photos, but she doesn't want to work with us because she says I'm not listening. And you can usually translate that to mean I don't agree with her 100%. Wink and Wink are bankruptcy attorneys I hope you never need. They are there to help you. If you're in a pinch, maybe a divorce, unemployment, a death in the family, whatever it is, they don't judge you. They just help you. Chapter 7s or Chapter 13s. Mike and Gigi Wink, winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720, 303-410-1720.
What you got there, Allie?
Live for you, and here's that. Super exciting.
Facebook,
I just like to
that
become a
Facebook
present.
scam sounds kind of interesting. Catfishing.
We had another one where it was a guy. I think guys normally do it. Women are very few.
Yeah.
But to send $40,000 to him?
I had a case, probably can't get into it on.
I want to address something that's very
I have
important.
a Facebook case.
Now remember, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Now you can talk, just know that we're live. Okay, go ahead.
And then
You had a case where, what, somebody got ripped?
Well, yeah, I had a big scam case here too, and it was kind of convoluted, and it was 6 figures in
a whole house.
to
get the money back. And here's what I love about this.
No, we knew we weren't going to get it back, but the issue became my client's reputation, basically, because my client was duped and the whole thing. This is a real sophisticated operation. I probably shouldn't get into the specific fact, but we filed it. The idea was she was being defamed on the internet. And
did that stop at least?
Pretty much, well, yeah, because I said the strategy was, look, we need to sue these people who are responsible, knowing we're probably never going to be able to, but we're going to lay out in the complaint what happened here, and then you could take that and publish this, and it pretty much stopped after.
So it was blackmailing more than catfishing.
The money had already been stolen, but I represent somebody who was falsely implicated. She was sort of victimized along with other people, and it really wasn't her fault.
But catfishing, I thought it was they
well,
go back and forth. It's like a little. This is more like a blackmail.
That's more of a blackmail thing. Yeah. Like catfishing, I wonder if that's might be illegal too. If there's criminal laws, but I don't know in Colorado.
I think it's a gift. It ends up being a gift, and that's how.
Yeah, but I mean to dupe somebody like that, I don't know if there's criminal laws.
I don't think there's a law, is it?
I mean,
it's not a law not to lie, right?
Well, some states might have a crime that is like a crime of fraud. Like a criminal, like some states have a crime of defamation. I know Georgia does or did.
A crime?
Yeah, Georgia had a criminal law in the statutes regarding defamation.
Wow, for defamation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh. Colorado did, I understand, until a few years ago. They had it, and then they did away with it. I don't know what the majority rule is, but because I'm thinking if you can get if this is catfishing to fraud like that. I don't know if you look into if you can get a district prosecutor interested in that. Maybe.
Of course, if this was international, I mean,
who knows where the person is? I mean, the jurisdiction thing is crazy on the internet. So.
I don't know. Pretty sad, 40,000, holy cow.
Brett Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Talk about how you can help home buyers.
Our Ideal Home Purchase Plan is an all-encompassing roadmap to buying your next home. Our free closing guarantee where we underwrite and approve your loan up front. Our home buyers
Ah, shit. And it's all for everyone to see how bad I am. I'm a bunch of hammers.
Lender regulated by your NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 445 Ideal. Finding great people to hire can be like.
Why would you do cushioning gels on your knees now when you can do, for the same price, stem cells? That cushioning will go away. Stem cells will grow tissue.
Yeah. Just another. But here's one thing: is in order to stem cell, you have to have cartilage left there, right? So if there's nothing left,
you have to have. Well, it'll always do something, but you're right. There's more advantage. Obviously, it can't take nothing and make something.
Maybe that's what it is.
It always has some benefit, but sometimes you're too far gone. That could be it.
Woke up cold one cheese. I'm Tom Martino, and I'm with Mark Kranak, attorney at law. He does criminal law. He also does a number of civil cases. He's a good all-around guy we go to a lot here when we want to file cases. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You know, it's very difficult to take on cases, though, pro bono, and I'll tell you why. Pro bono meaning free. It's really hard. For example, we have this case up north, and I hope they're listening because we haven't forgotten. Mark's right out in the open. Verizon, their applicant for a cell phone tower, completely broke the law. Just broke the law. Whether intentional or not, they did not notify surrounding property owners. They notified a fraction of them in outlying areas, but not the ones directly affected. It's a clear-cut regulation in Adams County that Weld County, they had to notify a certain number of people. They did not. They're claiming ignorance because they're claiming they used the county's certified list, mailing list, based on their geographic area. But if you look carefully at the ordinance or the law, it doesn't say you must send out to the list. It says you have to send out to the owners. In other words, it was incumbent upon Verizon to notify the homeowners. Where they got that list is up to them. They can't just throw their hands in the air and say, oh, I'm sorry, we got the wrong list, okay? It was so obvious the people were not notified. Had they been notified and 30% of them objected, they wouldn't have been able to put the tower. Instead, Verizon put a tower up in this neighborhood, and now they have to live with it. And these poor people, and I say poor meaning I feel sorry for them, lost so much value in their homes. We can show, and the county admits it was done wrong, but the county says there's nothing we can do about it right now. Now, I know if I put a shed up in my yard and I didn't go through zoning, they would make me tear it down. They would make me tear it down. And I want to know why Weld County is not going after Verizon. This is a case, I bring this up only because we were talking about pro bono. This is a case that you can't lose. They did not follow procedure. Here's the point. If an attorney takes a case pro bono, this is what I'm trying to tell people, and why it's so hard when we're on the air. You may say, Tom, why don't you get your friend to take the case? Here's what Mark and other attorneys have to consider. Once they take on a case and start swinging, and the other side wants to arm for battle, and let's say they want to take it up the line, it's so much to them, they need to go straight to the Supreme Court, let's say, of the state, or possibly the Court of Appeals before that. This attorney, if he takes it on, can't just say, well, guys, I know it was fun, I wanted to help, but now, you know, it's getting way too much for me right now. I'd rather just withdraw. What you don't realize is attorneys are reluctant to take cases because once they're in it, there is a possibility the court will make them stay with it and not let them leave. That is why, that is the most difficult problem I have getting an attorney involved. There are many people we want to help, and we do help. Like yesterday we helped a woman, just off the record. We just are helping her with advice, but we can't engage an attorney like that because if he gets engaged, he may not be able to get off the case. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the biggest problem with pro bono work?
Yeah, that, and you know, you've got to be very careful about cases you're selecting because, I mean, just think of that. There's the time investment, like you're referring to the case.
Well, you'll go broke. You have to make money.
You got to pay your light bill. You got to pay all your bills like everyone else.
I know.
You've got to be very careful about. Listen, if you take too many cases and you don't get paid on them, you're working and you're not getting paid. What's going to happen? So, you have to be very careful in case selection and. You know, because you're right about not being able to get out of a case. I mean, there's ways out.
Yeah, but it's possible the homeowners could turn on you.
Yeah, exactly. And
say, wait a minute, you took us this far, you better go all the way. I mean, seriously, where you had all the good intentions. I'm not talking about you, but attorneys in general. You have good intentions, but you need, you know, it's way too much. It's taking up all your time. That is the biggest problem I have with pro bono. But we need to help these people in Weld County. We have to help them. We're still formulating something. They have an HOA attorney. And by the way, this is a cutthroat law firm that I do not like, except now. I love them because they're so cutthroat. I think they might do something.
Well, that sounds like an interesting case. I mean, that's one that you don't have to necessarily take pro bono. If you have a situation where they put that tower up, didn't follow the rules, okay?
Oh, and we have it. We have recordings of the planner. Tom Parko just came right out and said it. Yep, you're right.
And then you have property values going down. I mean, you should be able to get an expert, you know, appraisers or whatever in there to say, you know, pre-value, pre-tower value, post-tower. You've got your damages. If enough people are impacted,
yeah,
you know, that could be.
Could an attorney take it on contingency? Yeah,
you could take that on a contingency case. I mean, you'd want to be very, you know, really comb through that carefully and look at it as best you could before filing suit. But I don't know, claims. What kind of claims could you have? What is that called? Nuisance. You know, you'd have to look into specific claims. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound right to me.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. Jason? Wow, Jason? Hey, what's happening, brother? What's going on?
Not much. Hey, I just wanted to call and thank you. Last week you guys helped me with the problem that I was having with my cell phone.
What was the problem, Jason? What was the problem?
Well, my phone, I sent it back because it was a warranty issue. When they got it back, the phone was damaged, so they charged me for it. So I kind of fell behind on my payments.
Didn't they claim that you damaged it?
They claim that I damaged it, but neither here nor there. Daphne helped me out. She got me in contact with one of your angels there. They got my phone bill under control. I did a thing on Yelp originally for Verizon, but then I also did one for you for helping me.
Thank you, Jason.
I did one for Yelp on Verizon, how upset I was with them. And then when I was on there, I just happened to look you up also, and I saw that, so I did a good review for
Oh,
you.
well, thank you.
Like I said, I really appreciate all the help that you do for the community and everything that you just do for people.
Hey, Jason, that means a lot to me. Thank you very much for letting us know. Back to Stephen. This is unbelievable. Stephen, we've been working behind the scenes here, but we forgot behind the scenes to get the name of that page so I could look it up off air. I want to do that during this break. We are we have some ideas about trying to sting this guy. I don't know if it's going to help get your money back.
Tom, I'm not really worried about getting the money back.
What?
My issue is I can give you the 2 pages that these people have created that are fraudulent.
Okay, do it. Hold on. I want you to do it off the air first, and then, because I'm going to put you on hold, then we're going to come back. But here's what I want to ask, Stephen. Are you headed for divorce?
Yes, you know, but let me tell you one other thing. My wife, see, I didn't even know I was headed for divorce. I didn't even know my wife was doing this. She's been doing it probably since March, and I just found out about it. And she doesn't know that I found out about it. She, you know,
so
I had
right
no
now,
idea our marriage was in trouble.
Right now, she does not know you know.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay,
She is
because
out of state right
you
now.
have to equal the scales before you file. You have to make sure that you take your part of, you know, like basically that's 20 grand of your money, best case scenario, right, is half and half. And was that out of your savings?
It was out of our joint savings.
Can you go get that money, the rest of that money, so she doesn't take it if you have any?
I've already taken care of all that. I've already protected all the rest of our money. Yes.
So you can get, what I'm saying is you can take it out of her part of the divorce is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on. And get the pages so we can get on them during the break, okay? We'll do that because I really want to know what's going on. 303-713-8255. Listen, now is the time to call Plumbline Services for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. This is the best time. Why? Because you're in between seasons. What is important about that is you're not under the gun, so get your furnace checked now. Yes, now. Okay, please. You will not have problems if you have time to think. Right now it's not too hot, it's not too cold, you don't have a lot of rain, you don't have a lot of weather and snow. Please call and start doing preventive measures. Get your sump pumps checked, get your furnaces checked, get all of those critical systems checked, and if you have an electrical problem, it'll get worse in the winter. Yes, it's early, but that's my job, to advise you when to do things. Call Plumbline Service for any plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drain situations. Free second opinions on all big jobs. Half off new ACs with the purchase of a furnace, so now if you need a furnace is the time to get it. And $149 for any electrical problem found and fixed with parts. $149, or the call and diagnostic is free. Call them, 303-586-1086, 303-586-1086.
Brought to you by Wild Alaska Seafood. Well, good news is the problems on 225 have cleared up. That accident that was there in front of the spillway has moved out. Now we got
Frank Duran got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's minor, though. You got
from
3 or 4 cars and a couple of cars on the right shoulder.
Oh, really?
Well off the shoulder, not really affecting traffic at all. A man had just south of
So he's been in there for a while.
And University look out for problems there with an accident. Causing some minor slowdowns through that stretch. Miranda Lambert concert at Red Rocks tonight. Expect a lot of extra traffic that first.
Dan, he's sending you the pages so that you have them if you need to put them up on the screen. And then if you'll forward those to Tom, he will have them. I do have a I have a message into Facebook trying to get somebody that we can, that I haven't heard
like that'll help. I need the pages though, dear. What
he's sending them right now. So he's sending them to Dan, and then Dan will forward them to you. So I wanted Dan to have them so he could.
Dan, are you on Google? Get on the messenger and do it.
Sure. Yeah. You don't want email?
Anyway, I don't care. Any way you want to do it.
Nothing's changing.
We have the solution to your settling concrete issues. Our time-tested procedure
There's a lot to this.
with sand and cement
His wife still doesn't know that he knows.
chemicals, and it lasts. Call Advanced Mudjacking at 303-424-9441. From Castle Rock to Longmont, Advanced Mudjacking is the leader in concrete lifting and stabilization.
I like that.
Call Advanced Mudjacking at 303-424-9441 or send me a note, advancedmudjacking@yahoo.com.
I can't believe how clean my carpets are. Can't believe I got it all done without any soaps, harsh chemicals, or detergents. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I use Zero Res. I've never had cleaner, fresher carpets. You can too. 3 rooms for just $124, including pre-treatment and sanitizing. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com. Patented empowered water. You can feel the difference. When I walk on my carpets after Zero Res, they feel new. And I never have to worry about dangerous toxins left behind. Right now, Zero Res is offering 3 rooms pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized for just $124. In some cases, additional fees may apply. Call now and get really clean carpets with Zero Res. 303-471-5150. Zero Res, the only system that completely leaves your carpet without residue. 303-471-5150.
Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage. Pay off your home in half the time without changing one penny of your spending habits. Need access to your equity for cash out to pay off debt? Make that long-needed home improvement? Or just take that vacation? Take advantage of AIM's The All About You event, where you'll receive a $300 gift card for any closed loan. Use at Home Depot.
Yeah, Mark, if you'd see a picture of that cell tower, they try to disguise it. You know, some of these they disguise as a watchtower or a tree. This guy said, boom, right in the middle.
They knew they wouldn't get it done, so they sent the notice out to way out, like way out. They were supposed to do within the 500 foot, and they went out beyond, and the fringe of the 500. Not one person, not one in that immediate.
Who's actually affected?
Not one was notified. Not one.
How many people are there?
Take advantage of the
In the immediate area,
who were like naked
500 feet. How many did they say? They said like 100.
Well, you know what? We should follow up on that.
Yeah,
That could be a good case, actually. You know, if we could, in terms of that case could have some value too, because you get that many people.
You got to speak louder. What?
I said he's sending them right now.
You know, we get an expert witness, appraiser. Wouldn't be that complicated of a case. I mean, you're looking at, what are you looking at? You've got they violated the statute, the rule, then notify them. That is what it is, and then you're going to have to do, you know, spend some time in the law library. There's probably cases like that around the country. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's fairly new development, so there's no big trees. That's the thing about it. So this just stands out.
Yes, man. I mean, they can't. If they, you know, those people should have been notified and allowed to comment.
800-255-8776. That's 800-255-8776. 800-255-8776.
And you know, in terms of a pre-litigation fact investigation.
Hello, sweetheart.
You're on the show. What's on your mind?
No, I called you. I wanted to tell you that when you said we unplugged it, let it sit for a little while, plugged it back in, and the compressor came on after a few minutes. It didn't come on all night, but once I unplugged it and reset it, kinda, it came on, honey. Oh, I'm back on the air, sweetheart. I'll see you. Bye.
Keep my hands on myself.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. So, have you heard about the grab-ass trial going on in federal court in Denver? It's very interesting. Anybody know about it?
I heard about it, Tom.
So, apparently, Taylor Swift accused a disc jockey of grabbing her butt. And it got him fired. And he countersued her. Is that how it worked? No, he sued her first. That's right. He sued her first for losing his job. And then she countersued him. She thought she could get away with this trial without coming here, but the judge made her come here. So, what's that all about? I mean, apparently, he was accused of grabbing her. I don't think... Would someone make that up? I mean, you know, I often wonder about that. What Taylor Swift, what would she care? Why would she make that up against a disc jockey?
I agree.
You know,
she wouldn't lie.
Although, then I think, why would a disc jockey do something like that?
I've seen the pictures. He's kind of got a creepy look on his face, but he doesn't look like he's grabbing anything.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. She's so skinny, she probably doesn't have anything to grab.
What station was he on? What station? The guy. I don't know much about it.
Never heard of the trial.
Anyway, this groper, the alleged groper, let's see, what's his name? Oh, David Jackson Mueller. Groped her during a 2013 fan meet and greet. Before a show, Swift and Mueller have sued one another over the alleged groping incident. Pursuing, I'm reading, by the way, from, I should give them credit, NBC News. Okay. Pursuing legal action is not only protecting her own honor and dignity, but every voiceless woman, blah, blah, blah. That's the PR person. Swift claims she was sexually assaulted by Mueller when he he lifted her skirt and grabbed her bare buttocks while a photo was being taken. Okay, well, where's that photo?
Right. That's
No, I mean,
one, right?
could you see his hand in that photo? Mueller denies this, saying he was falsely accused, and if something really happened, she should have called police instead of his bosses who fired him. Man, he lost his job. That's serious. So she called his boss. His lawyer, Gabriel McFarland, contends that Mueller may have been misidentified after someone else touched Swift. Mueller and his girlfriend were escorted out of the Pepsi Center arena once Swift told security she had been touched inappropriately. The contention that Mr. Mueller lifted up Miss Swift's skirt and grabbed her bottom while standing with his girlfriend in front of Miss Swift's photographer and Miss Swift's highly trained security personnel during a company-sponsored VIP backstage meet and greet is nonsense, particularly given that Miss Swift's skirt is in place and is not being lifted by Mueller's hand in the photograph. You know what? Why would she go through the trouble, though, of calling the boss to get him fired? The complaint also says Mueller has undergone 2 polygraph examinations during which he responded no to questions about whether he touched Swift or put his hand under the skirt. The results of both tests were that Mueller was speaking truthfully.
Sounds like a whodunit.
Initially, Swift attempted to keep the situation discreet and quiet and confidential, and was upset by Mueller's claim that for some reason she might have an incentive to actually fabricate the story, her attorney said. Anyway, I'm going to take all of your calls. We're working on this Facebook thing. Please hang on. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. We have a lot to go here. Please stick around.
That case of the weld sounds interesting. Even all those people, I mean, that's real damages, you know. Multiply that out per house.
Always wanted to deal with them. There is a way to do that.
Oh, she is cute, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a cute girl. She's very, she's
not much to her.
I can't, you know, just from a motive perspective, it would be hard to imagine her making that up, right? I mean,
I don't know what incentive she would have.
So the court has sealed the photo, huh?
What's that?
The court has sealed the photo.
How your clothes smell can say a lot about you.
I'm waiting for that.
That's why
I sent the email to you for that.
This is on because I'm waiting for the story. That's why you're hearing this. I'm waiting for the story about this story.
with New Downy Protective Refresh.
Superstar Taylor Swift took to a different stage today, appearing in a federal courtroom away from the sight of cameras as jury selection underway.
Facebook just answered me. Will you send all that to me? I'm going to send it to our Facebook. She goes, what information you have on this catfish thing? We don't put up with that. Let me look at it.
Swift says under her dress and grabbed her bare behind. She never reported it to police, but one of her reps contacted Mueller's employer, KYGO Radio, which fired him. In 2015, Mueller filed a civil lawsuit against Swift and members of her team, calling the roping allegation nonsense, saying it cost him his job. He defended himself during a radio interview last November. My hand was never under the skirt. I never grabbed her. Swift countersued, claiming assault and battery, saying she has never been so sure of anything in her life.
Celebrity status gives a litigant credibility. Just the fact that you feel like they know you.
The courthouse is bracing for big crowds. Arriving early today was Maya Benya, who hopes to give Swift a letter of support. Opening statements will likely take place tomorrow.
Tell you what,
Well, I'll tell you though.
Take a lot of time.
You know, I mean, you know, no one deserves to be grabbed like that.
But like I said,
if that happened,
God,
it's so difficult to know the truth.
You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com with an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates
it takes so much
There's
time.
only one link. You only sent me one link.
Right. That's all I got.
Indeed.com. The site proves
Why'd you say Facebook sites?
5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com.
He said Facebook.
I don't have a Facebook page. I just have the photo.
He said sites. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all I got.
So far, he has sent us no Facebook pictures. And unless he can supply us with a Facebook page, I'm not going forward.
You could be putting yourself at risk of
He should have a Facebook name.
To get the IRS off your back, call now 800-684-7777.
I'm tired of accusations without proof.
800-684-7777.
This report is brought to you by American Financing.
Well, that's the site he sold.
Who is this guy, Sean Kelly?
That's apparently the guy.
What's the Facebook page?
Oh, that's.
Yeah, he's taking a screenshot now and sending it.
I need to know the URL. It's after the Facebook. It's the Facebook page identifier. Make sure I get a picture of that.
Terry's had lots of financial questions and need to make lots of decisions. You want to get them right. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, every Saturday on 6:30 KHOW. You're invited to attend my free retirement classes on Saturday morning, August 12th. The first class, will taxes derail your retirement? If you've saved a lot for retirement, taxes could be your largest expense. What can you do to reduce your taxes? And the second class, 7 retirement threats and mistakes to avoid, so you don't outlive your money. In these classes, I'll share.
I wonder, did someone say she doesn't have much to grab? Did someone say? Did you say that?
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I think she's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman.
I'll see you on
I don't doubt that she. I'll tell you, my shoot from hip instinct is I don't doubt she was grabbed, because why would she make that up? I mean, she's got nothing to gain by that. You know, so
I'm sure that's. Yeah.
Hey, there he is. How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand or
Yeah, I can't find that
stroke?
Facebook on that
Not
guy.
even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke. Are you okay? I'm having a stroke.
Right, because it can take a lot of her time.
Yeah.
This is not.
That's not something.
She doesn't need
want to be judged
publicity like that.
No, sir.
No, she wouldn't want that at all.
But I guess it seems like what he's saying is what?
Did you get the Facebook page?
I haven't yet.
F-A-S-T-F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs. Face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
If you have an IRS or state tax issue, don't fall for claims that
Why he sent that link? That's the place where he stole those pictures off.
You're in a bad situation with the IRS, but don't let other commercials fool you. The IRS rarely makes wild write-offs, so keep your expectations realistic and still get the best possible deal by using Heartland Tax Solutions.
No, he just said these are the faces you need to look at. Kent, Brown, Sean.
06, or go online, heartlandtaxsolutions.com.
Super fresh sushi, juicy prime rib, spectacular all-you-can-eat crab legs. We've got them all and much more. And limited time only, special lower prices during our hot summer meal deal at the Farmer's Pit Buffet at Isles Casino Hotel Blackhawk. You don't want to miss the best dining value in Blackhawk for brunch, lunch, or dinner this August and September during the hot summer meal deal at Isles Casino Hotel Blackhawk. Must be 21. All terms, conditions, rewards, and benefits are subject to change or revocation without notice. Eligibility and exceptions apply. See official promotional rules. Gambling problem or 1-800-522-4700.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family. What kind of cereal should I buy?
How about something with more antioxidants, less sugar, and tons of flavor?
Well, I do like flavor.
Then it's time to make the switch to Grainberry cereal with amazing onyx sorghum.
What's onyx sorghum?
It's an ancient grain, rich in natural fiber for sugar control with more antioxidants than any fruit or vegetable.
Do you always hang out in the cereal aisle?
Yeah, pretty much.
Look for Grainberry cereals with amazing onyx sorghum. Grainberry.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my
Hi, The magic word of this show is what? Help. Therefore, the music, hence the music, I should say. I'm Tom Martino, a consumer advocate here in Denver for nearly 40 years, and even more than that if you count where I started in upstate New York, then migrated to Florida, and then North Carolina, and then here. Yes, we are here solving problems as I've been doing every day for most of my life, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars in cash merchandise exchanges, refunds, and services. I thank you so much for being here. Let's get to the phones, okay? Please spread the word about the show because there is strength in numbers when we can get people to spread the word about the bad guys, spread the word about the great guys on referralist.com. We have an attorney with us today, Mark Kranak from Referralist, to answer any and all questions. Right now, Stephen, he's talking about a Facebook scam, and he said somebody catfished his wife. We got a hold of Facebook. They're very interested. They're listening. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Now, you did not send us the Facebook picture, the pages, though, sir. You just sent us a photograph.
I'm trying to get that to work right now.
Okay.
I just screenshotted it.
Now, this guy that you sent us, this Sean Kelly, who is that?
He is a pastor for the Hope Recovery Center.
And this guy
in Corona, California.
And this guy used Sean Kelly's picture, and you found that out by simply searching the image, right?
Yeah, on Google. That's exactly how I found
what were some of the things? What were some of the things this guy was telling your wife? Is he saying he's in love with her? How did they meet?
I have no idea because I just found it on the message. I don't know how.
And how did she send money?
Yeah, and that's all he's been messaging her to send money.
How did she send money?
She sent money doing wire transfers.
Okay, to where?
One of them I saw. She only took pictures of two of them. So one of them was to the United Arab Emirates. Now, where else she was sending them, I don't know, because it shows they took wire transfers out of account, and she was sending $2,500, $7,100. So I don't know how she did it. To be honest with you, I just don't know. That's all I can tell you.
And so you obviously had the money in the bank.
Yeah, it was, but I protected a lot of the money because she was being very coy about it and wouldn't do it, So, I mean, didn't know, had any idea where I was sending this money. I don't know how to, I'm just trying to say, I just don't know how to say it. We had arguments because she wanted money right away because we had sold our house and then she wanted money.
Now, are you guys getting along? Are you guys getting along and living together right now?
We're not. She is out visiting her father in Pennsylvania right now.
But does she know that you guys have problems? Are you talking about divorce?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We have talked about that before she left.
Protect yourself, man. Protect yourself.
I have.
Now,
I have done all that.
Facebook.
Tom, let me tell you something. I have listened to you over 30 years. I've been listening to you, and I have never had anything go wrong because I always took your advice. I read your columns in the Rocky Mountain News.
Thank you, man.
I still have those clipped out and saved because they mean as much as today as they did 20 years
I so appreciate you saying that. I really, really do. I really do.
Awesome, Mike. God bless you for the work you do.
Stay in touch now. Do you have an attorney?
Yes, I do.
Good. Okay, and because we have plenty of good advice, just call us anytime, Stephen, and make sure we have your contact information about this Facebook thing. Yes?
So I did get a message from Facebook, and they said our community standards don't allow for impersonation or fake accounts, and asking to send everything to them, and they are going to investigate.
All right. Thank you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So we are going to keep working on this. Okay, is this Uriel?
Yes, it is.
What's going on? You have a son in Mexico.
Yes, me and his mother sent him down there to visit his grandfather.
Now, Uriel, are you the dad?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you sent down to visit Grandpa. Where was Uriel born?
Or my son?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, where was your son born? I'm sorry.
Yeah, my son was born here in Denver.
Okay, and what's your connection to Mexico?
When my father was the founder and owner of the Grizzly Rose, and when he sold it back in the 90s, he bought a house down in Mexico as a vacation home.
Okay, so your dad started Grizzly Rose?
Yes, sir.
So you have a family name people would know?
Yes, sir. My dad's name's, Ken Mueller.
Oh, okay. I've heard of him. And he's had some other businesses, right?
Yeah, he owned the Buffalo Rose and a bunch of warehouses.
Yeah. So Ken is living in Mexico. Why would he keep his grandson?
Well, his life's been a little topsy-turvy over the past few years.
Is he? Well, I'm serious, though. That's a serious thing. How old is your son?
My son's 13.
Does your son want to stay?
Yeah, I talked to my son on the phone. He didn't want to come back and live with his mom.
Okay, are you two getting divorced, Uriel?
No, we've been divorced for a long time.
Oh, how long you been divorced?
11 years.
And so you guys get along?
Yeah, we're fine.
And so this is your dad down there?
Yes, sir.
And he's keeping him so he doesn't have to live with mom?
Yes.
And what does mom think about this? Does she say, okay, come back, you don't have to live with me, I just want to visit, or what?
Oh, no, she's outraged.
I know, but is she willing, like, in other words, is she willing, what if the kid will come back if he can live with you? Is that possible, or will she not allow that?
No, it's possible. He can live wherever he wants. He just has to go, he's just going to have to go to some therapy. Certainly. Woo. That's our only grounds, is that he's going to definitely have to see someone.
Okay. So
this behavior is unacceptable.
Of course. But you both are in agreement he should come home. Is he the one fueling this? Is he the one saying, Grandpa, I don't want to come home?
No, I believe it's my father that's fueling this.
Well, okay. So, I mean, does he really think he's going to keep him away?
I honestly, I don't think my dad cares. He knows that I can't come down to Mexico to get him. I've had phone conversations with him, and he's just like, tough tittles, I can do what I want.
Wow, this is wrong. I mean, you got to send someone down there. Does the kid want to come home now?
Well, I haven't been able to talk to him since the first week of January.
This is kidnapping.
Well, but I can't get no state. I've talked to people at the state level, and they say it's not in their jurisdiction. And at the federal level, they told me to file the Hague Convention and then hire a private attorney down in Mexico. So I'd have to hire an attorney out of a list of attorneys. I don't even speak Spanish.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and my dad's not a Mexican citizen or anything.
Oh, man, this is crazy.
He's got a $500,000 warrant for his arrest out of Jefferson County right now.
For what?
That's for a failure to appear on a domestic violence charge.
Wow. Okay. What do we do? What do we do, Deputy Dan?
So Uriel, why did you send him down there? It's obvious you weren't getting along with your dad, right?
No, I actually was fine with him. My belief is that he had concocted that he was never gonna return to the United States to do his trial up in Jefferson County, and that he wanted to have Cam down there with him. So he just concocted this plan.
Okay, we need to ask Bonnie Shields or one of our attorneys what to do in a case like this. Let's get Bonnie on at least. I don't know what you do in a case like this. I mean, you send a private eye down to maybe take him? I don't know. I mean, the kid is old enough he can scream bloody murder, and who knows what...
And he's fluent in Spanish, so anyone that's not fluent in Spanish can be in a ton of trouble real fast down there.
Wow, this is odd. Hold on, all right? I don't know what to say, man. This is odd. What would you do, Mark? Legally, I mean, they don't care down there. They're not going to... I wonder. I mean, if you hire an attorney down there, what would happen?
I don't know. I'm not... don't know much about family law. I certainly don't know anything about Mexican family. How old is the kid again?
13.
Jeez.
It's sad. Uriel, hold on. We'll get some attorneys' recommendations, but maybe someone else listening had a problem like this and can answer it. This might take some, I mean... I don't know. I mean, what do you do? Can you get a court order to go into Mexico? 303-713-TALK. If you know anything about this, how about 303-MARTINO? Hey, Rocky's Autos is at 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, you will find the best selection at Rocky's. They have so many, and they buy them directly. I want you to know it. They own each and every car. The titles are right there. So when they transfer ownership, it's for real. And I say that because so many complaints I've been getting lately about people having problems with insurance and registration and ownership because of that. You will have the title when you buy that car or when you finance that car, and Rocky can help you there too with 40 lenders to choose from. They have variety in financing, variety in colors, models, makes, brands, years, prices. Prices are clearly marked. Go shop around, put Rockies on the list. That's all they ask, because they know they can compete. If you truly compare apples with apples, or Fords with Fords, you know what I mean. 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646.
This is bad.
This
I wonder what the age of descent is in Mexico.
I don't think he doesn't want to come back.
Right. Kid doesn't want to come back, doesn't want to live with his mom. So I imagine he's filling his grandpa with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
His mom, you know, so.
Because of an earlier accident and police investigation.
He's probably having the time of his life down there. I'm not sure he is.
Got Bonnie on line 7.
The weather forecast, we've got a 40% chance of showers today, a little warmer than it was yesterday with a high of 75. We'll dip down to 56 degrees tonight.
When I was 13, I probably wanted to be down in Mexico.
Even for a refugee forced to flee, a family defying drought, and millions more facing poverty, conflict, and disaster in over 40 countries. Be there, even when you can. Learn more at mercycorps.org. If you're doing any home improvement,
How much time do I have, bro?
Build is the place to go for cabinets, counter
3.5, go.
The weld kit sounds interesting. Has
I'm going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, because I mean, we could get like just get a shoot from the hip opinion from a appraiser, you know, and with all those victims.
Right. But this is what I see on it. If it gets pushed, what they're going to do is put up something that's everybody, you know, like say a clock tower or something like that, something to mitigate damage. I'm not sure what the cost of these is. You're right. Lawsuit, say it drops each house by 25 grand or something.
It's real damage.
Right. You know, wouldn't the company just say, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll make it, we'll disguise it. Because you've seen some of the disguises and stuff. There's right along Jefferson, right along Wadsworth. I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, cell towers that we can't even see.
Right.
You got to really look closely. It's like a clock tower, or a tree, or a pine tree.
Yeah.
But here, it's a new development, so it's just they're kind of, in fact.
Well, has anyone contacted? Has Tom got with Verizon or anything?
I think they said they already got approval, so
Ranch in the Promenade Shopping Center, University and C47.
I didn't go to the meeting with Suzanne and Tom.
Fitness Gallery, getting Colorado in shape since 1997.
Does getting something flavorful and balanced on the table feel like a chore? Let HelloFresh take care of meal plans so you can save time.
Did it come through, right?
Yeah, but
I know. I looked up that.
And I tried to find him on Facebook too, and I can't find him either. So I need to call Stephen back. I'm going to deal with it after we get off.
Yeah.
But I'm so impressed Facebook answered me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't know why I have such
Did you
luck,
send him an
but
email?
I did.
Did you send him an email?
I did this morning at 8:33.
Wow.
I just thought, hey, I'm going to throw it out there and see if anybody answers me. So now we have a Facebook angel.
Sure, absolutely. Are you going to be here today at 4?
Do you need me to?
No, well, I don't want you to stay the whole time. I just need to leave a card for someone, a key card, and I just wanted to know if you're going to be around. If not, I'll make other arrangements. Maybe with Corey or something.
Hey, line 1, I didn't want to put him up yet. He was that guy that called in last week, and he wants to do a screening deal. He pulls weeds for $12 an hour. I wanted to ask you, is that okay?
I thought we mentioned him on the air, and he got a couple calls, I thought.
Yeah.
What's that?
That guy that was going to do basically handyman stuff with pull weeds for $12.
He's back on line 1, but I wanted, he says I have a screening deal, $12, weed pulling, but I wasn't.
We don't even know him. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
And you know it's cash.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you before I really put him on.
Tell him I'd like to talk to him. He can't just do it cold. I got to get to know him better. I don't mind helping the kid out.
Maybe I'll hire him.
Yeah, you're good, Bathurst. Be careful, though.
term, they'll do it. It's a flexible term loan. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867.
So Daphne tried to look up, and she couldn't find the guy's Facebook on there either from what he said. She couldn't find his Facebook. The guy that, from catfishing, she couldn't find him either. So,
doesn't this guy have the URL?
He hasn't resent anything else.
He has to. Well, he has to,
right,
or I'm not going to take it.
Right. I think it's kind of fishy. Pardon the pun.
Are you going to be here today? You won't be here.
Not before. I won't.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Bonnie Shields, attorney at law, is on our referral list at referralist.com, and she does divorce law, family law. Bonnie, Uriel and his wife were divorced for 11 years. They have no problem with custody. They share custody. There's not a big deal. They sent their son to Grandpa, Uriel's dad, in Mexico. He's an American citizen. He moved to Mexico to retire. And the granddad won't send the 13-year-old back, and the 13-year-old wants to stay with Grandpa. What do you do?
Oh, boy, Tom. I don't do a lot of international cases.
No, I know. Uriel, you're still on the line, right?
Yes. What about going through the police first? Because going through the court on the divorce case, that wouldn't do any good because there's already an order that these parents have the time with the child.
Yes, we filed a runaway report with the Brighton Police Department, and then we contacted the State Department and filed the Hague Convention treaty request already.
Okay, so you did all of that, and what did they say will happen?
Basically nothing happens. They told me that they can't even stop it. Like, he can take his passport and go to third countries and do whatever. They said that it became a civil issue at that point, and I know it can't just be a civil issue.
Well,
is that because it's Mexico? They're not going to enforce it because I know Mexico really does not abide by the Hague Treaty very well.
That's probably it then.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the deal, Bonnie. If he went down there, I mean, the guy could not refuse to let him have his son, but the 13-year-old is old enough to put up a fight. This would be terrible. So, Uriel, would your son, let's say you had the money to go down and get him, and you took a friend or something. Is this kid, is he the type of personality that would say, screw you, Dad, I'm staying?
Oh, yeah. If my dad was there, yeah.
And are you certain that this is what your son wants and Dad's not just...
Well, I haven't been able to talk to him since January.
I'm sorry, pardon?
I haven't been able to speak to him since January, and my father won't let us speak to him.
Well, there might be I would think that is a sign that perhaps this is not your son's wishes.
Yes, but I haven't been able to speak to him.
Wow.
So I'm just parroting what my father has told me, which is that he wants to stay.
And you haven't been able to even talk to your son?
No, sir.
For all you know, he's saying your parents want you to stay. You know?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. JR?
Yes.
You say you had the same situation?
Yeah, no, my brother Michael, he lives down in Texas. He got divorced. Tracy took the 3 children down to Mexico. Well, it took him, he fought everything through American government, so he worked with the Mexican embassy down there.
Yeah.
And it took 3 years. They actually was 16 by the time they came back, but he had to hire a couple of Hispanic headhunters to actually get their location and then get them back over the border, because once they were back over the border, then it's all American jurisdiction. So
wow, so he had to
ended up having to do that,
like vigilante stuff, like vigilante stuff.
Yeah. I hate to say it that way, but they get paid. They're professional.
Gotcha.
Headhunters.
Yeah.
They get people and get them back into America.
Yeah.
Who's the guy in Denver that does that? That goes and gets people, the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
I saw him recently at a restaurant downtown. He's still in Denver.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if, Uriel, have you ever thought of hiring a private detective or somebody to go get him?
No. I'm taking notes right now as we speak.
Now, we do know, let's call our place. Let's call our private detectives. Daft, do you know who to call? ICS? of Colorado. Let's ask him if they, you know, these are all special forces guys and ex-military. They know what they're doing. Maybe they'll take it on. And Bonnie, he's not breaking any law, right, if he goes to get his own kid?
I certainly wouldn't think so. So here's what I would do, though. I would take whatever court orders say you and the mother have the parenting time. Go get certified copies from the courthouse. Don't just take regular plain copies. It costs very little. Get them certified and have those with you. And also, does he have his passport with him down in Mexico?
He should. I just don't know.
What I don't know is if you're able...
Well, how did he get there? He had to have that or the birth certificate.
When he went down there.
Okay.
Right, so maybe call immigration just to see if you can get a duplicate copy so you'd have a passport to get him back into the U.S. I don't know if you need the child there.
Well, you don't need a passport to get back to the U.S. All you need is identity, I think. I think you just need identification. I'm not sure. I think I've traveled back and forth. Haven't you?
I think you have to go through customs, though, don't you?
No, do you do a passport, an actual passport?
I think you need a passport coming back in, don't you?
I didn't. I wasn't sure.
You need one to leave, and I'm pretty sure you need one to come in, but I could be wrong.
Okay, maybe you do. I don't want to give people wrong information. Thank you. Bonnie Shields, by the way, 303-798-1927. 798-1927. She's been on my referral list for many years. Is Sam up from ICS of Colorado? Let's talk to Sam. He's a private detective, and they have a firm of ex-military, also former special forces. These guys know what they're doing. Sam, this is unusual, but Uriel sends his 13-year-old to Mexico to visit his dad. Uriel and his wife are in agreement. They're here in America. They've been divorced, but that's not the problem. It's not a husband-wife thing. Uriel's dad is keeping the kid, 13 years old, in Mexico, refuses to let him come back, says the kid wants to live there. Sam, if I say I got to go get my son, he is my son. He's 13. I mean, do you guys do stuff like that?
As far as you're talking about going and doing an extraction?
Yeah.
Especially going into a foreign country like Mexico and kind of the current relations that we have with that nation, and just going and trying to grab a kid and then get back through the airport, you're exposing yourself quite a bit.
How?
Has there been?
You mean you mean those authorities there?
Correct. Have the family taken any legal action in Mexico right now because of what's going on? Have they tried to take that to the courts there?
No.
Or how long has this been going on?
How long has it been, Uriel?
We filed everything a few months ago. We were able to finally file the Hague Convention.
What is the Hague Convention, by the way?
It's the International Convention for Child Abduction.
Okay. And you filed saying he took the kid?
Yes.
What happens after that?
I don't know. The State Department told me that I needed to hire a Mexican attorney and that it was a civil matter.
Okay,
I can't go to Mexico to hire an attorney.
Are you saying, Sam, you don't want to get arrested in Mexico is what you're saying?
Correct. I mean, remember there was a few years back, there was a famous case, a guy was a fugitive from justice, and the guy from the TV show Dog the Bounty Hunter.
That's what we just talked about. Yeah, we didn't talk about that case, but he got in trouble, didn't he?
Correct. Yeah, he got sideways with Mexican authorities. I know he was in a jail there for a little bit of time. So it's one of those things where they didn't steer him wrong. I mean, if you don't have a Mexican attorney yet.
But what if you went with let's say you went with the dad? Would you have a problem if you're with the dad and you guys are traveling? I mean, it's his son. I guess, I don't know, a 13-year-old could say kidnapped, you know, and how do you prove? How do you prove someone's your son? You don't have a brand. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
It's difficult. So have you done extractions? Not you personally, but has your company?
We'll do extractions with families. We haven't gone international on that. We've done them stateside.
Okay.
But again, it has to be a willing party. It's not. We don't do any sort of, like, a lot of times it's in an abusive type situation, and somebody wants to get out of there, and so we're helping them go to a safe house. Or,
I understand.
You know, and break out. And we're obviously providing that protection level for them in that point. But it has to be a willing party and kind of set up on that. Yeah.
ICS of Colorado for any kind of private detective work. They're great people. 303-797-6789. They do, investigations. So let's talk about this now, Uriel. You need to probably hire someone in Mexico who knows people. That's what you need to do. Someone in Mexico to get your son over the border. Do you have any idea what they charge?
No, sir. I have no idea.
Anybody listening have any ideas? Please let us know. This is terrible. And this guy started the Grizzly Rose. He's well known. What a jerk. My God.
So, Uriel, if you went down there, would your dad even allow you to just see him?
The problem is I know how things operate in Mazatlan. I've been in the side rooms with the attorneys. For all I know, they could already have, warrants for my arrest waiting for me when I get there on whatever fabricated. They can just fabricate charges. You give. I mean, my dad sold the Grizzly Rose for a few $1 million down in Mexico. He can purchase witnesses to anything he wants.
Yeah. I mean, he's not that rich, is he? I mean, really? I mean, it's not like. I mean, I'm saying the Grizzly Rose was a good place, but I'm just saying that can he really buy and sell?
The Adams County documents say that he sold it for $1.7 million.
Yeah, so what? That's not. I mean, serious. That's not like. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the world, for goodness sakes. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but it doesn't sound like a really big deal.
No, but it's enough that I would still be really scared to go down there, that I could end up in Mexican jail, just waylaid for months.
No, I know. That would suck. You're right.
And a couple of $1 million in Mexico is a lot of money.
Wow. 303-713-8255. Let's just brainstorm this. Get his information. Let's keep brainstorming this thing. Wow.
I think it sounds like he needs to consult with a Mexican attorney and get some kind of order out of the court down there. Take the American papers, like Bonnie was saying, go down there and present the stuff to a Mexican lawyer and see if you can get something out of a Mexican court.
Now I'm looking for Ken Mueller on the internet to see anything about him. This is a good story. I mean, if this guy's locally known, he kidnaps his grandson. Oh, hold on, I want to know something. Uriel, Daff, ask Uriel for a phone number. Let's call Granddad. Let's just call him, or the kid. Let's get the cell phone number and call. Let's do some negotiating. It's not going to do any harm. Let's face it. 303-713-8255. Now, we have Mark Kranak here today, and another attorney on our list that we love is Joe Lazzara. Joseph A. Lazzara is an attorney at law, and he does criminal defense, DUIs, and that kind of thing. If you're ever accused, your life will be upside down. That's why you need an attorney. You can't do things on your own. Joseph A. Lazzara has been with me for years. The easiest way to avoid a drunk driving charge or marijuana charge is to have a designated driver or use Uber or Lyft or a taxi. If you are ever accused, it could be false or it could be you made a mistake. No matter what it is, you still need someone to get you through the system. 303-429-6200, 429-6200, Lazzara with 2 Z's. Lazzara, 1 R. Lazzara, L-A-Z-Z-A-R-I, LazzaraLegal.com or 303-429-6200. Excel Roofing is one of the best-run companies.
Mexican consulate from Denver on the air. Maybe somebody will talk about it, That's a good idea.
Cancellation or penalty fee in his contract. He doesn't want to force you to do business. He wants you to want to do business with him.
I can't believe it. Oh, he must be so cross with his dad.
And never a blank contract.
He won't even allow the son to talk to him.
Hey, Tom, will you tell Mark to talk more into the mic? I'll just bring it down a little. I tried to call Grandpa, no answer. You don't want me to leave a message, do you? I didn't think so. I'll keep trying to call him. But do you want me to let Uriel go?
What does this group text Mark has on?
There's a big tropical storm in Mexico, and he doesn't think it's going to affect their flight, but more to be announced.
When are they supposed to be back?
Tomorrow, but then they'll be back for Thursday for the show. Yeah. Okay. So, do you want me to keep trying to keep Uriel on the phone? Or?
No, I don't need him.
Okay.
But just take that vacation. Take advantage of Ames, the All About You event.
There's
You'll
a
receive
Mexican
a $300 gift
fellow
card
in
for any
Spanish.
closed home. Use at
I
Home
can
Depot, Bed
consult
Bath &
here in
Beyond, or
Denver.
and the opportunity for $1,000 cash. 3 days in Breckenridge, or
Okay, there it goes.
55-inch flat screen.
You want to call them or have Dad call them?
500 for details. If you
What's
are
that,
tired of
The
paying
Mexican
insurance,
consulate here in
I don't
Denver.
know. Shit, what do you think?
no MI.
I guess I haven't heard, just to see what they. I'm sure they've talked to them. I'm sure you're real.
Take
If
Ames,
they go over into the State Department, I'm sure they
720-895-0500.
would.
Find out why more
Don't do
Coloradans
that.
every day choose AIM for the
But not even talking to your son in 6
Call now.
months.
Take advantage of the All About You event. $300 now and the opportunity for another $1,000. Call for details. 720-895-0500. Regulated by DOR, NMLS 298191, Equal Credit Lender.
The Stem Cell Institute of America is in Denver, so if you're suffering from osteoarthritis of the knee, low back, neck, shoulders, hips, or other joint pain, stop and listen. These are must-attend stem cell therapy educational seminars, free, with no obligation to you. Find solutions to your pain and information that could change the way you live. With seminars in Denver, the Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, and other places, including Fort Collins, there's sure to be one near you. You need to attend one of these seminars on regenerative medicine. It could be a life-changing experience. 888-628-1899 to register for one of our upcoming seminars. And for information, visit stemcelltherapypain.com. I'm Tom Martino. I had stem cell therapy on my lower back, and it's nothing short of a miracle. Within 1 week, 90% of my pain was gone. And now, I don't even remember the pain. Start living once again. 888-628-1899.
Super fresh sushi, juicy prime rib, spectacular all-you-can-eat crab legs. We've got them all and much more at limited time only special lower prices during our hot summer meal deal at the Farmer's Pit Buffet at Isle Casino Hotel Blackhawk. You don't want to miss the best dining value in Blackhawk for brunch, lunch, or dinner this August and September during the hot summer meal deal at Isle Casino Hotel Blackhawk.
When I was emailing that Uriel back and forth, he did say that his dad told him if you come here trying to get my son, I'm going to have him thrown in Mexican jail.
That's an exciting story. Did he say the father? He said that the grandfather, right, has a warrant out for his arrest, right?
Yeah, $500,000 more. In, was it Adams County?
Yeah, Jeff, I think he said, but or Adams, one of the other. But I wonder if she's thinking it's good. He's got the arrest for felony, right?
I think it was abuse. It's probably so abuse. So you know he's not coming back.
I wonder if he's not.
The grandpa.
You could interest the Mexican authorities to execute the damn warrant, you know?
That's just the thing, is what he was saying is
he's got all the money down there.
He's got money, but we're not setting very well with Mexico.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting situation now.
But he won't even let him talk to his son for 6 months.
Yeah. I don't know, the kid's 13 though, you know, I'm wondering if he was going to distress, you know, pick up the phone and...
You're right, you think you could, especially if he speaks fluent Spanish.
Yeah.
His son speaks fluent Spanish, so I'm sure he's probably not holding him captive.
Yeah. Huh. Wow.
Don't just make a sandwich, spin it.
Did they say didn't say what town he was in?
I mentioned some province or something, but I don't, you know.
Going out of town? Take us with you and download the iHeartRadio app today.
Let's see. There's certain countries that don't have any extradition treaties with the U.S. Yeah, I mean, you can Google it. Morocco doesn't.
Oh, really?
What's that one? Bali. That's the city. They don't have one.
Hello, Tom Martino here. I am here to help you. Yes. And we really, really take it seriously. I love doing what I do. Make it possible, please. Go to Troubleshooter.com to watch us live, Facebook.com, YouTube.com, and then the Troubleshooter website. I'd like to know your opinion. It's newly launched on its own, separate from referral list. Now, when you go to Troubleshooter.com, you can get to the referral list by simply clicking the icon above. So please check it out. Referrallist.com and Troubleshooter.com. And as I said, welcome. Okay, let's go to the phones. Mark Kranak is with us. We've been talking about a lot of stuff.
If you have any questions you want to ask an attorney, ask Mark Kranek. He's here to help us. Paula, what's going on, Paula? Hello, Paula? All right, we'll just keep going here, 303-713-8255. Every now and then when you see people that have been waiting a long time, would you get on and see if they're still there and just say hi to them, and then we'll avoid that. Hey, Melinda, what's going on? Hey, Melinda.
Hi, Tom. I have a real problem,
Yeah?
I think.
What is it?
I need your advice. My grandson is 16 years old. Parents are divorced. He goes to a technical schools with Adams County 12 schools.
Okay, it's a tech school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes a couple hours a day during class, and this happened back in May. His teacher made my grandson stand in a corner in the classroom in front of the other kids for almost an hour during class in May.
Stand in a corner?
Yeah, with his nose against the wall.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's kind of old-fashioned, but what the hell, all right? Why was he disciplined?
I think he was texting on his phone.
Okay, so that's not a big deal, is it, to you?
Oh, it's major to me.
Why?
But
Why? I mean, come on. Go stand in the corner? Come on. Why is it major? Seriously. Why? I don't want to poo-hoo your opinion. Why do you feel that's serious? Really?
Well, there's more to the story. Let me tell you really fast. So, the teacher is a friend of my grandson's dad, and after that,
a friend.
Yes.
Okay, like
and he had called him and said, "What should I do?" And his dad said, "Stick him in the corner," to humiliate him. And then after that, the teacher, without subpoena, the father filed a custody. They have 50-50 custody of the parents.
So what does that have to do with this, Melinda?
Well, the teacher went to court and testified to take her 50% away.
Okay, why? He thinks that the dad's a better what?
He doesn't know my daughter. I have no idea.
But he has a right to testify for his friend. What's the big deal? I mean, that has nothing to do with the discipline issue. I don't understand the connection, Melinda. I'm really trying. What's the connection, dear?
Well, when you go to take somebody's parental rights away...
But what does that have to do with punishing your boy for texting, your grandson? Okay, he was punished for texting, and then do you think that's why the dad... You think that's why the dad sued for custody, because he was texting?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the dad has always... This is probably the 20th time in court.
All right.
He's been in court.
I got you.
But first and foremost, don't you feel that you should separate professional from personal?
Now, in what way? Meaning what? What does that mean?
Well, I don't think that a teacher should testify not knowing a person.
Teachers are always asked to testify. Always.
He was not subpoenaed.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He did it voluntarily. He doesn't have to be subpoenaed. You know that, right? You don't have to be subpoenaed to go to court.
When you're going to act on behalf of a school?
Right. You do not have to be subpoenaed. You can voluntarily do it. You can do any... Well, of course you can. And first of all, who said he was acting on behalf of the school? Did he say, I am here representing Adams County School District?
He did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I don't know if he said... I'm representing. I know that they asked him...
They said he's a teacher, and that's exactly who you go to. You go to teachers. You go to priests. You go to pastors. You go to daycare. You go anywhere you can, and you ask opinions. That's what they do. It's normal is what I'm saying. It is normal. There is nothing wrong with asking a friend to testify, or a teacher who is also a friend. There's nothing wrong with it. So Melinda, I mean, this is normal in a custody battle. And your daughter can also get people to testify. That's what the hearing is about. It's too bad that he's doing it over and over and over. I mean, yeah, but I don't know the circumstances. I really don't. Maybe in his mind he's saving this kid. I don't know. But I'm
Absolutely
saying...
not. It's mostly out of...
yeah, of course. Maybe it's out of anger.
And
Well, I wouldn't... That doesn't surprise me in a divorce. But...
Are you complaining about the teacher disciplining this kid, or are you complaining about the teacher testifying? What are you actually complaining about? I don't know exactly what you're complaining about.
Probably humiliating my grandson is my main concern.
Humiliating him by making him stand in the corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the kids laughing at him.
Well, you know what? I think that's actually truly a mild punishment. It really is. So, I don't know. I mean,
I just don't feel like it's acceptable in today's standards, if you will.
Why?
I don't know. I just think it's humiliating. It's degrading.
You know what I think? I think it's disrespectful to text in class. That's what I think, Melinda. So I think the punishment fit the crime. In fact, I might have kicked his ass out of the class and said, you don't come back with a phone. I'm not trying to be a hard ass here, but I am tired. I am tired of kids being pampered and parents and grandparents going after hard-working, underpaid teachers who simply want some respect. And I think this whole thing, Melinda, you're just pissed off. You're pissed off because the teacher is friends with this guy, the dad, and you don't like the dad. Let's really be honest, because you know standing in the corner did no harm to that boy at all. At all. You know, Brent is stopping by with some important news, and I'll tell you why. We do what we call mortgage minutes. Yeah, it's advertising for Ideal Home Loans, but it's more than that, because they give us useful information. They truly do. We've learned how to refi the safe way. We've learned how to consolidate debt the smart way. We've learned how to pick terms. We've learned how to choose when to refi and how to mathematically figure out when is the best time, or if you should. And now let's talk about values. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Hi, Brent.
Hey, Tom. You know, so we've got a really great dynamic going on right now for not only current homeowners, but homeowners who are looking to trade up in the marketplaces. We've seen these signs go up in neighborhoods everywhere. I know you've seen them in your neighborhood. I've seen them in my neighborhood. They don't stay up for long. Homes are selling quickly, so we're starting to see values rise. We've seen some areas in the last 18 months that are up as much as 20 to 25%. And the good news is that allows you to take that equity to refinance, to remodel, consolidate bills, pay off debt, or if you're moving, look at how much you have to take with you to the next transaction, because a significant down payment can dramatically impact your interest rate and save you significantly with rates being in the high threes right now.
And Ideal Home Loans is the place to do it. I've known you for many years. I've known Ideal Home Loans, and I happily recommend them. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next Ideal Home Loan. 303-867-7000. 867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Hey, while we're talking about loans, by the way, I want to congratulate Frank Duran, the real estate man. I got to congratulate him. He got a lifetime achievement award from RE/MAX. We're not talking about just a one-time thing. This is a lifetime achievement award. Very few brokers are awarded this from RE/MAX. He is great. And I got to tell you, even in a hot market, it really does make a difference who represents you. Because in a hot market, of course, people are going all over the place looking for homes, and you want to make sure when your offer is put in, it's noticed. Frank can do that if you're looking to buy. If you're looking to list your home, he has price bracketing down to a science where he asks not too much, but not too little to create desire and bidding wars. He statistically can show you where he sells for more in less time. 303-920-1622, 920-1622, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Bet we get calls saying what they used to have to do in school for punishment.
Jeez, I was just thinking that myself, you know.
They used to have the whole dictionaries out.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's like humiliation. So I grew up in Minnesota, and the grade school.
He wasn't even subpoenaed. I love when people think they have something. You know, it's like something. They don't know why, but they think they have something. Like, well, he wasn't even subpoenaed.
The weather forecast, a 40% chance of showers.
They know the law.
Okay, they can go today at 75.
I think she was trying to put 2 and 2 together and
Right now, it's
say that's
75 degrees with a few clouds here in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Hank Terry, 630 K-High.
The certified packing experts at the UPS store can handle all your freight needs. From furniture to industrial parts, they have the solution to get it where it needs to go. Visit upsstore.com to find one of over 75 locations near you.
Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino for Larson Tax Relief. I've been fighting for consumers more than 30 years in all areas of business.
I wonder what the principal said about that. Hopefully he said the same thing you did, Tom. So what? Would you rather stay in the corner or lose your phone?
Yeah, I mean, what else? What other form of discipline are you gonna? There's not much you can do. Much you can do. God forbid if a kid got spanked.
Right. Spanked, slapped,
will get you the absolutely best possible resolution. You won't have to worry about your wages being garnished or losing your house. Larson will get between you and the IRS. They'll save you thousands and thousands of dollars. I trust Ron and Jack Larson and their team of experts, and you can too. 844 Larson Tax. Or check
when I was in grade school, they used to do this thing where you acted up. You got put in, I mean, it's like basically solitary confinement. I mean, you went in this room, and we called it the rubber room, like you were crazy or something. And you had to just sit in there, like on your own. The room was locked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was locked too.
Yeah, and then you couldn't get out.
You know, if a kid got chewing gum, they would put the gum in their nose and walk around school like that.
And did you know
now there's many different things like say that.
Mortgage into a VA loan? You may even be able to take out cash to pay off some of your existing debt. So you can
times have changed.
The times they are changing.
Deductible. Whether or not you've previously used this benefit, you still have access to the VA home loan program. VA loans have no down payment, no mortgage insurance, and relaxed credit requirements. American Financing has salary-based mortgage consultants for no upfront fees, and the pre-qualification process only takes...
I don't know, the Mexican situation is pretty interesting. It's got, you know, I mean, the guy's probably right. If they go down there, who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, trying to, and you know, it's...
I can't believe he hasn't went through a Mexican lawyer already.
Yeah, I think he could probably, that's probably the next step.
I mean, it's been 6 months.
Yeah, and then maybe if they can get some paper, you know, it's a court order out of there, and then they, you know.
At least they might they might force him to at least talk to him.
Yeah.
You know, they at least, you know, have his son say, hey, I want to stay here.
He has a legitimate gripe, though. He's a 13-year-old kid. A few months have gone by now. You know, the guy's got a warrant out for his arrest.
Plus, you don't know what he'll tell him his son, or what his son is telling his granddad.
I don't think so the warrant out for his arrest, I wonder if that could be used as an angle. You know, clearly the Mexicans would have the authority to execute that if they wanted to, right?
Well, with a minor, right? You would think they would.
No, I'm thinking, the warrant for the guy's arrest.
Oh, the extradition?
Yeah.
Oh, that's in Mexico would say. Screw you.
They probably would, but they could also probably be persuaded to do something. I'm saying that if they chose to do it. Yeah, exactly. If they chose to do it, they probably have the authority to execute that warrant. The Americans, I don't think they go after people. They don't go after people internationally, even like Mexico. This is really bad. Like there has to be some real bad cats. Like,
well, I've heard others that it takes years too.
Yeah.
Even if they do it and stuff like that.
But you know where they get you though? I mean, is so like it's some kind of financial crime or something, and you could somehow make it out of the country before they snatch your passport. You might be okay, but they'll get you coming back in. You can leave, but you can never come back.
I don't think this guy plans to come back.
Politics of illegal immigration, Wednesday morning at 7:06 here on 630 KHOW.
Got it. All right.
Finally.
On TV.
Hello! I'm Tom Martino.
How can we help you? Just call us and ask, okay? 303-713-8255. Gina's been waiting a while. Go ahead, Gina. What's happening? Gina? Hey. What's going on, Gina?
I had this for that contractor that came up to my house to do some work about 6 years ago, and he took off with my check from the insurance company. The mortgage company given it to him.
Okay, for some reason, your words are cutting in and out, but what I heard is this was about 6 years ago?
Well, it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I recently, last year, found him again.
And what did he take off with?
He took off with the insurance check for over $12,000.
And never did the work?
Never did the work. So a year ago, I found him. And
did you go after him, though? Did you do anything to go after him?
I did keep researching and finding him, and a year ago I got him to put the roof on, and he was supposed to paint and finish everything else up.
Oh, good. So you kept it alive a year ago because you were coming up on the statute of limitations for collection. So you got him to put a roof on, and did he do it free? Or not free, but did he do it for this money?
He did do it. He didn't ask for any other money from me.
Okay, so how much value did you get a year ago?
Just the roof, and he didn't do...
How much? How much do you think it was worth? 1 year ago, if you had...
He's telling me that the roof cost $8,000.
Okay, so how big is the roof?
It's not a very big house.
Okay, so about $8 grand for the roof and labor and all that. What else did he do?
He did nothing, and he said the Allstate bid that was supposed to be done was supposed to be my house painted, the deck sanded.
I understand. I understand. So he technically, if you go by him, he owes you about $4 grand now. Hello? Gina?
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking. So he owes you about $4 grand. He did about $8 grand. He took 12. He owes you about 4.
Yes.
Okay. So where do we go from here? Where is he?
Well, I've hired a lawyer, but we cannot find him. Or now he's not returning phone calls again.
What's his name?
Pete Trujillo, Sr.
And what's the name of his place? His company.
It was Millennium, but now the number I called from, I never called like a company number. I only had his cell phone number. So I only have his cell phone number. I know his shirt said Millennium. Okay.
And so you're calling because you want to see if we can help you find him?
Help find him so I can get my work done. I'm trying to sell my house, and that was what the deal was I can't sell it till the house is painted.
Yeah, he sounds like, a real scumbag, actually, I mean,
and I thought I'd be able to find through the Parker Building Department, through the permit, I'd be able to get some information, and come to find out he didn't even pull a roofing permit.
Oh, man. Okay, so what do we do about this? Let's see. Let's put out his name and see if anyone knows anything about him. Many times we have luck with this. So say his name slowly. It's Pete
Trujillo.
Trujillo. Okay, Trujillo.
And he's out of Thornton.
Okay. Out of Thornton. Pete. Yep. Did you have a phone number for him?
I do.
Okay, okay, give it to us quickly.
Okay, it's 720.
Yeah.
234.
Yeah.
5876.
Okay, hold on. Let's see, and we want to get your information. We're looking for Pete Trujillo, Thornton. If anyone knows anything about him, give us a call. Pete Trujillo out of Thornton. We were trying to find this guy who took money and didn't do the work. It's unusual to do commercials about this.
If you're an addict and you're not going to listen, I hope you would. Meanwhile, this commercial is mainly aimed
I've kind of heard that story a few times, that story where the contractor gets the money and...
Oh, a few times. Oh, man. It's terrible.
Yeah.
One of the ones we asked as far as, and Tom wrote the response last night, we wrote it up there, is the one that we talked about where she even invited the contractor in Mexico, the one you talked with.
Yeah.
She went to Mexico, came back, or somebody lived in the house. Yeah. The guy left it basically as a shack.
Right.
So so she got an extension for it.
File an answer.
To file an answer.
Yeah.
We sent it to her and heard back from her. But I can't even imagine she could. I can't imagine.
I don't know. I mean, he's I don't know. I don't know the facts of the case, but it sounds like
I've seen him play.
Yeah.
He decimated.
He didn't do anything.
Well, no. He did the roof. But it was supposed to be, it was an old house, right? So it had the old, you know much about roofs and stuff, so the decking was the old 1x6s, whatever, there's little gaps in it. So in order to get a permit, you got to put all new decking on it, so they just put it over that. He ran out of the plywood decking halfway through, and just let it, so you can look at the roof, and it goes like this, and then it drops down.
Yeah.
You see that? He didn't put anything, any flashing around like the chimney, or anything other than vent pipes or anything.
This is shoddy.
Well, it was just shoddy, but he didn't finish it, and then all this, when they tore off the roof, the stuff fell down the attic and cleaned that up. He put siding, he moved old siding to the front because there was, the hail had damaged the siding in the front. It was vinyl. Like I said, he took out the sink, took out light fixtures, because he told her that, well, I thought this was going to get demoed inside of the house.
Yeah.
So she comes back from Mexico, and she used this as a rental for income.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me.
So when she came back, and she still hasn't, there's a guy living in there.
Yeah.
That the contractor said, okay, for part of your pay, I'll let you live in the house.
Right. That's crazy.
No, it's like I said, yeah. So we'll see what all goes on there and stuff. I just can't imagine that. Even if she doesn't, if she represents herself, I can't believe a judge wouldn't say, wow. Because the stuff that he wrote in his response was also a lie. It's clearly a lie.
Yeah.
Because he said I've seen a report from the mortgage inspector.
Yeah.
And didn't say anything that he had said. He said on there, it says, basically 1% of the work is done. And the guy in the response from the attorney quoted the mortgage inspector. So like I said,
yeah, jeez.
And seriously, when you walk in the house, it was no better than a shack.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I can't believe anybody could live in it.
I guess there's a big deal with when you're seeing this stuff, and I've been in consumer law for over. I started out in Atlanta. I did it regularly. I got consumer law fills out of it. So I've been doing this type of stuff. What I've noticed other times, a key thing that people really have to be cognizant of is you got to know who you're dealing with out of the gate.
Oh, you mean if you can get any money from them?
No, I mean before you do business with somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I have a buddy of mine that we're talking about. He's talking about getting somebody to design an app. So he's got this idea, and there's potentially a lot of money that could initially exchange hands. And the first bit of advice, is this guy. You better know who you're dealing with here.
Yeah.
He gets the money when it takes off, or say you have a contract, and suppose you just choose not to abide by it. Can you get anything out of it?
Right. And this one here, 95% of the time, their story is under this thing. She understated. It was worse than what she stated.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, fighting for you each and every day on the longest running radio show in America. With the same host, thank you for being part of it. We appreciate it. Don't forget we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live at troubleshooter.com. Just hit the watch live or watch and listen. You can also download our podcasts or stream us online, or of course KHOW Radio, our flagship here in Denver, as well as other affiliates, and iHeartRadio across the country. We do have so many people listening from around the country. We invite you to call as well. 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466, or 713-HELP, 713-8255. Mark Cranak's with us in the studio. Mark, he does criminal defense, but he also does other things. He'll do civil law of all kinds. We use him a lot. He would be interested in credit slander, if truly you've had credit blackmail and slander that I described at the beginning of the show a couple hours ago. Also, if you just think you've been wronged, he is a great guy to talk to. When he's not here, you can find him, denvercriminallaw.net. Wow, that's a good website. denvercriminallaw.net, 303-999-3900, 999-3900. Let's go to the phones.
All right? And we'll, I'm going to go through, I promise I'll go quickly for you people and help you out as much as I can. Linda, she co-signed for her daughter's car. Uh-oh. What happened, Linda?
Well, my daughter and I went out on May 22nd. She purchased a 2014 Chevy Cruze.
2014, okay.
Yes, and
where'd she buy it, by the way? Where'd she buy it?
AutoNation Chevrolet North.
AutoNation, and did you, where's the financing from?
It's American Credit Acceptance.
American Credit. Okay, so you co-signed, which means you signed, basically, you know, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now, when we got home, we realized that the copy they gave us was unsigned.
The copy of the contract. Why is that? Was it a carbon, or was it a duplicate? How was it? How was it?
Well, it's just it looks like a regular copy, but there's no signatures on it.
Okay, but did you ask about it? You should get a copy of the sign.
Yeah, I did ask it. He said that they didn't need signatures on it.
Well, on the copies,
we go that way.
Well, technically, on the copies, you don't need signatures. I mean, technically.
But that's not the problem. The problem is they called us back in on the 30th of May saying that we needed to re-sign because the bank had changed the interest rates.
So what? So you don't have to. You know, if you don't want to, you don't have to. I mean, you did a deal based on a certain interest rate, and unless you want to, you don't have to go back and do it. So what did you do?
Well, we decided to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
But the problem is the interest rate did not change. It's exactly the same on both contracts, 7.65%.
So why did they say that?
I don't know, but it was a lie. And on
well, how did you know it was a lie and signed it anyway, or did you find out after you signed it?
No, we found out afterwards, and it wasn't that the interest rate. That wasn't the problem. What they did was they switched the names. They put me as purchaser and my daughter as co-purchaser.
Doesn't matter. They're both the same.
Yeah, but it's her car, and I'm the one getting the bills, and
It doesn't matter. You're both You're both equally responsible.
Yes, but she needs to get the bills. It needs to be in her name.
No, it doesn't. It is in her name. It's in both of your names. If this is all you're calling about, I don't know how to help you. It's in both of your names. It doesn't matter who the purchaser and co-purchaser is. It's in both of your names. And all you have to do is make sure they have her address too. So here's what I need to know. On the registration or on the title, are you on the title?
Well, I don't have the title.
Well, of course, the lender does. But you have to make sure that the car is registered and titled to you too. You never, ever, ever co-sign on a loan, ever. Unless you're going to be... First of all, you should never do it. But now that you've already done it, you should only do it if you're on the registration and title. So if you have to, you can take control of that car. In fact, the best way to do it, you should never co-sign. For those listening, if your kids need someone to co-sign, the best way to do it is, if you have to, I would never do it, but if you have to, co-sign. Then make a promissory note for the amount of that car and put a lien on the car. Even if there's no equity in it, put a lien on it. You have more rights as a lien holder than trying to execute something as a borrower or as a co-borrower, because you don't have any written agreement. Your daughter can say, yeah, she co-signed, but I never agreed to pay it. She did. I mean, there's all kinds of problems you can get into, the least of which is the one you're complaining about.
Okay.
You are both on it. Now, does she also get the mail, though? Does she get the notices?
No, I'm the only one that's been getting them.
Okay,
I'm the one that gets the bills. I'm the one that gets all the little notices that...
Okay, you have to make sure, just change the address with the account, or I would suggest you stay on it and just add an address, so you're both on it.
Well, the problem is she lives with me.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Well, then there's no problem. I mean, you know, you're both... I'm assuming you're both on the loan and on the title from what you're telling me. Make sure. If that car is titled only in your name, then it does appear to be your car, and she's not going to get much credit for it on her credit report. So why don't you just check with the lender and find out where that car is titled. Do you have the paperwork you signed? A bunch of stuff, right? You have a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I got.
Can you send? Listen, if you can send us the paperwork that you signed, preferably electronically, Daphne will be happy to look at it and have our people look at it. We can do it this hour if she does it quickly, and tell her exactly where she stands. Okay? It's not. I don't think you have a big problem. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to be smart by saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But the truth is, it doesn't matter. Barb, how are you doing? Barb?
Hi. Oh, I didn't know you were talking.
Yes, I am. So tell me about this contractor.
So, I have a lawsuit, a small claim suit against a contractor that didn't finish some work. I filed the suit July the 3rd, but the only addresses I'm able to find for him are post office boxes.
Wait, so you didn't serve him?
So I'm trying to have him serve. They were trying to serve him through the mail and get a certified.
Yeah, you're allowed to do it through the mail with small claims.
So far, he has not responded. I'm wondering. I don't know how else to find him, or an address for him, or how to.
Well, I want to remind people we're still looking for Pete Trujillo out of Thornton. If anyone knows where we can find Pete Trujillo for a woman, he took money and didn't complete the job. Now we're looking for who? What's this guy's name?
Christopher Torres, Torres. His service was called GTA Services. When I looked on the Secretary of State website, his business was closed recently.
Hey, listen, is this racist? I want to know this.
Is it what?
I want to know if it's racist of me to note that almost every single complaint I've gotten about contractors taking money and not doing work has been a Hispanic surname. Now, I want to ask that, Dan. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I am not doing that out of hate. I have no hate in my heart for anyone. Honest to God, I don't. But have you noticed that, Dan?
Absolutely. No,
okay, and we just had two today, Torres and Trujillo. And I'm not suggesting that's maybe because we have so many people looking for work and there are more people looking for work who have Hispanic names. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. This was a young guy. Seemed like a nice little guy.
Yeah.
In his 30s, young. But he did, part of the work he did do was okay, but he didn't finish. Like my neighbor's fence had to be taken down to get equipment in my backyard.
How much work did he not do?
Well, my sewer had to be replaced, and they had to take down fence.
How much work did he not do?
They did not replace my neighbor's fence that they took down.
Is that the only part? Like, of all the money you paid?
Did not do the cleanup. There's all kinds of debris in the backyard that didn't get cleaned up.
The fence and cleanup.
I'm only suing for like $850.
What's that?
I'm only suing for like $850.
Okay, so you know what? I want to amend that. He did most of the job, Chris Torres.
Most of the job was done.
And it was done well?
I had to keep calling and calling and calling to get it done.
And most of it was done well?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good news. Now, let's try to find out where this guy is. I mean...
Well, I was wondering what happens to my lawsuit if I can't find him to serve him.
Nothing. It won't happen. I mean,
Okay. All I have is post office boxes, and I have a cell phone number.
Well, listen, if you have a cell phone number, there are some private detectives that know how to get addresses from that.
Okay.
Unless he uses a post office box for that.
Okay.
But your post office box, they have his address. They have another address probably somewhere for him.
How'd you pay him?
I paid him with a bank check.
Would it show on the back of the
certified bank
check where?
No, it'll show the account. It won't show his house. It'll just show an account.
Right.
I don't know.
So.
I mean, I've had sneaky ways I've done it, but one is the cell phone. That there is a way to get his, if he gets his bills at his residence.
Can the sheriff's department find him?
Why don't you call ICS of Colorado?
Okay.
And talk to our guy there. What we just had him on. What's his first name again?
Sam.
Sam, you're right. Talk to Sam over there and ask him what suggestions. Okay. Do you have his social?
I don't.
Okay. Do you have his license, a copy of his license?
No.
Okay. A lot of times, people, you should get identifying stuff when you're contracting with people you don't know. And if they won't give it to you, now maybe the socials are much to ask for, but I say, look, if people won't trust you with their information, you shouldn't trust them with your money.
It might be on the Secretary of State information still, so I might be able to get it there.
So here, you hold on, and let's give her ICS of Colorado's phone number, our private eye, and see what he says. 303-713-8255. Mark Kranak, when we're talking about contractors taking money up front, you know about the Contractors Trust Act, right?
No, I'm not too familiar with it. No.
Well, it says money held in trust or taken up front for a job has to be held for that particular job, and it can't be commingled even. You can't. And you can't use it, divert it for any other project. This is taking it out of the realm of civil. And now this case with this Torres guy, that's not it. But there are cases where there would be a true violation of the Contractors Trust Act. And I think that's, you know, the problem is you can't get law enforcement to do anything unless it's really egregious. And small claims court, what would you do with a judgment to collect once you get a judgment? Even a default judgment, a judgment is a judgment. What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's a piece of paper. I mean, there's three primary methods of collection: put a lien on a bank account, put a lien on real estate, or garnish wages. But you know, the person has to have something. You know, and that's really where you want to start from the beginning of a potentially filing a lawsuit. Is, you know, does this person, if I get $1 billion judgment against them, you know, it's a piece of paper. Can I convert that in?
Exactly. What difference does it make unless you can convert it? So. The thing is, though, on the collection, what people don't understand is interrogatories are questions you're allowed to ask after a judgment, and they're court-ordered. And if people don't answer them truthfully, you can have them thrown in jail.
That is true. You can do, you know, if you think you're dealing with somebody who actually has assets, and a lot of people do. I mean, I'm saying, well, maybe the guy doesn't have assets, maybe he does. And, you know, there's post-judgment collection that you can engage in where you can actually have somebody show up to court live to testify. It's something like a deposition, you know, under oath. Okay, where's your bank account?
Right.
You know, and do you own any real estate? And so, if you think the person has money, there's ways to find that out.
Exactly, exactly. Let's talk about one of my favorite people for kitchens and bathrooms, Art of Granite. Man, Mitch Floria is such a great guy. He has had such a busy summer, and he is still growing. And I love it because he's the right kind of guy. Mitch Floria came to this country with $300 in his pocket from Romania. He was a fabricator for granite, and then he decided to have his own business. Here's how he does it, okay? First of all, you take a picture, a snapshot, or call him with measurements. He'll give you a ballpark figure. Yes, a ballpark figure. Whether you want granite or counters, he'll never charge more than he pays for the granite. He only charges for the fabrication and installation, but he tears out and hauls away all the old stuff free. He will also do cabinets for you at a modest markup direct from the manufacturer. A 1 to 4 week turnaround, 7 days a week, serving the entire metro area and mountain communities. So once you call and get that ballpark price, then he'll come and look at the job, template it, you pick specifics, and he'll give you the exact price that will not change. You will love the way Mitch does that job. It is truly the art of granite. artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919.
This report brought to you by...
He's starting up again. I just want to get some fresh.
Westbound Topico traffic there at that edge. Eastbound across Commerce City is in pretty good shape. 225 southbound, a little bit of congestion. Midway around the Cherry Creek Reservoir to about Yosemite. 25 northbound, overall in pretty good shape. With a little bit of slowing there through the curves there up through Colfax.
So say you get a judgment in small claims court.
And no major crash.
You can say right there, have the judge ask them, what's your bank account?
No, because there's an appeal period, and I think you have to wait till the appeal period is up before you can even begin, like the rule before the lawyer can begin collecting out the judgment, which is not much, like 30 days or something like that. And if they don't file, but then if they file an appeal, you can request, and the judge will probably order that they pony the amount of money up that you got in the judgment into the registry of court, which is great, because then if they lose the appeal, you get paid. You know?
I see. That's the way that works.
Yeah, but if you get the judgment, there's an appeal, the time to file an appeal, and post-judgment and stuff, which is about 30, 45 days.
Even in small claims, there's always that 30
Yeah,
days.
you can appeal. Appealing from small claims to district court is a piece of cake. All you have to do is file a piece of paper, you get it de novo, you start all over again.
Doing just what I suggest you do to get back to a more active life.
But if you don't show up,
well, then you get a default judgment.
Right. So if you don't, there's no appeal on default judgment.
There might be, because even in the context of a default judgment, the plaintiff has to go to court and present evidence of damages. Because what if you put in your papers, he owes me $10 zillion. Right. You can't just get a 10. So you get the hearing, and then so I suppose if they defrauded the court or something and said, on the damage issue, you might be able to do something about that. Try to fight that. But normally, look, if somebody doesn't show up and you want to get a default judgment, odds are, they're not going to show up. Then you're post-judgment.
Can I do my spine one now or not?
Improve your home's appearance with new windows, siding, or into the third break.
The real sad.
So we'll just keep things where they are.
If the judgment against them, there's kind of all kinds of maneuvers people can do to hide them. Well, like international, what are you going to do if somebody owes you a lot of money and they have a bank account through an LLC, but it's in Mexico. Panama is what people do. That's where a lot of illicit, drug trafficking, arms trafficking. That's the hot place, Panama.
No, well, this, I guess, it's mostly small claims court we're talking, which is 7,500 at most, and even that, it's hard
to find somebody and ultimately get converted. I was talking to the Uber driver the other day, yesterday, taking back to the court, was complaining about that. I ain't got a judgment at small claims court. I can't find this guy to collect. It's an issue.
You got 6 years, that's what it is in county court,
and I think you got to revive it or something like that.
Some of them are longer. 20 years in district, right? And how many years in county? Six. Small claims is a 6-year judgment in county, and then it's 20 in district.
That's what I read, yeah.
Okay. There was a 15-year period for something, I thought, and I don't know. I get confused. Is this any problem?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. With Mark Kranak, attorney at law. If you have any questions, we have him. And what's going on with Scott? Scott, what's happening, brother? What's going on?
Tom, we up here in the oil patch listen to you when we can a lot, and we're always blown away by the stories of how people get their stuff screwed up. But we're even more blown away why they don't use your referral list or listen to you in the first place.
Well, thank you for saying that. It is amazing to me, though, how many people start listening only after they have a problem. A lot of people don't listen until they have a problem and someone says, hey, have you heard of Tom Martino? Give him a call. And then they call, they get helped or not, and then they say, wow, this is interesting. I mean, Scott, really think about it. Most of the people who call here are probably not listeners. Not really.
Well, they better start listening.
Yeah. So what are you doing? Are you working the oil fields?
Yeah, up in the oil fields in northern Colorado. So there's several of us that listen to your show.
Is it still a big business in out in the fields? I mean, do we have a lot of active wells?
100% booming, my friend.
But why? If prices are so low, why?
Technology's improved everything, so we can produce our product at a lower cost through technology.
Is America becoming independent?
You know, we could, here in Colorado, be independent, and I think we could be if the politicians wanted to do that. We definitely could be.
So I'm really thrilled to hear it's still a thriving business.
Not Tom, that's my whole world right now, and I have health care, I have everything I need because this is a booming industry and well managed and well run and very safe.
That's good because I have a crap load of royalty interests, and I need that for my retirement, so please keep working hard.
Keep
Thanks, Scott.
Doing your job, and I just love your list. Man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's Scott in the oil fields, northern Colorado. Hello to all the workers in oil fields. Are they called roughnecks? Is that what that's called? Dan, you were in the oil business.
Yeah, if they work on the rig, and they're roughnecks.
Now,
yeah.
rigs are out. Are rigs out in the water? Or?
No, any rig that's either drilling or work over or
And
whatever.
what did you do? You were on the science end.
Right. We did the open hole and cased hole logging.
Did you ever go out to the fields?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's we.
Do they have meters on them?
They have meters on a cable, and so we put these meters down. Basically, we call them a tool, and it would take the measurements of the rock.
Okay, but how do you know how much is extracted in a day?
How much oil?
Yeah, like
they have meters on that. Yeah, once it's all actually producing, yes, there's meters.
Because
on
people
there.
are paid royalties per whatever barrel.
Right. It's per barrel and stuff. And
are
then
you
whatever
are you buried? Do you have a lot of royalty
No,
interest?
I have none.
You don't have any, and you're in the business. What
yeah.
are you doing?
I have stock, but
the problem is
royalties.
I bought my royalties high, at a high price.
It'll come back.
Now the return for my retirement, the return is very good, but if I tried to sell them now, I wouldn't get my principal back, which is odd. I just don't know why, and he answered it, technology. I don't know why I'm still getting a return on my investment. It's still paying very well every month, the royalty interest.
Because they're producing.
Yeah, but which is weird because oil is so damn cheap.
Right.
But you think oil will go up?
Oil will come back, but like I say, wells have a finite, amount of oil they're going to get it. So
yes.
yours will probably slowly degrade as far as the quantity.
No, that's true, but I have just the opposite. I have a lot of properties that have yet to be tapped.
Okay.
So I have a lot of what you call upward mobility.
Sure.
Or potential, I hope. But like I said, look, I'm not looking to be what I was once, with the multi-millions and multi-millions, because I fell flat on my face. But I just want to have enough so when Mark takes the show, I'll be all right. Hey, Michelle, what's going on?
Hi.
Hi, what's happening, Michelle?
So my husband and I had a food trailer custom built by a company out of Denver called Denver Custom Food Trucks. And
what kind of wait, what kind of food do you do?
We serve all gourmet cold wraps.
Gourmet, give me an idea of one.
So our biggest seller is on a whole wheat tortilla that has lettuce, mayo, honey mustard, black forest ham, turkey, and Swiss cheese. And
that is so cool. You know what? I love roll-ups more than anything. The only reason I love roll-ups, well, not the only reason, one of the main reasons is because the tortilla is the only kind of bread product you can get with very low carbs if you get the low carb one. And I don't know how they do it. I forget what brand I get. But man, they're delicious. And I don't know why people like you don't offer that as an option, because everything else in that sandwich is low sugar except for the tortilla. I digress.
Well,
I'm going to help you. But you do? Do you actually have a low carb wrap?
We have a low carb wrap. We have a gluten-free wrap. We have a vegan wrap, a vegetarian
now
wrap.
I'm going to I'm going to publicize you like crazy. So I'm writing it down. Where do you hang out?
Well, our business is designed to travel music festivals.
Where do you normally go? Where do you normally go?
All over.
Okay. What's the name of your truck?
It's called Gangster Wraps. WRAPZ.
Gangster Wraps.
Yes.
Oh man, WRAPTZ.
Z.
I love it.
No T.
Oh,
yes.
Gangster Wraps with the Z, and then the gangster. Is it gangsta or gangster?
Just Gangster.
Okay, Gangster Wraps. Cool. So, you ordered a new truck. What happened?
Well, we started, signed our contract and everything at the beginning of June.
Yes.
With a contractual completion date of July 20th. And during all of this, this is a brand new business for us, so we were working on a whole bunch of other stuff.
Well, did they complete it?
Well, they did.
As I say, in their mind, they completed it, but you're going to tell me the problem.
Yes. So the biggest problem, we were back and forth between Between Denver and Georgia and Virginia, we've got a couple of business partners too, so we were having to deal with, the behind-the-scenes stuff with the business.
Okay.
And so we would touch base with these guys probably every week, and they would let us know, everything's
So tell
great.
tell us what's wrong right now so we can help you. What is exactly right now? What is happening?
So our biggest problem right now is within our contract, they were supposed to provide us with what they call a self-contained trailer, which means that the trailer can travel and operate and serve food in all 50 states. So it has to fall under the guidelines for all 50 states.
So this is not a panel truck. This is a trailer.
It is a trailer.
Okay.
It's an 18 by 8 trailer.
18 by 8.
And so when we went to pick the trailer up, we showed up on July 17th, which is a couple days early because we wanted to check the progress. And not only had they not even started our trailer, they hadn't even purchased our trailer.
Okay, tell me what is wrong though right now. I need to know what's wrong. I know that you had a miserable journey, but let's talk from delivery. What is wrong with the truck right now?
Okay, so right now, the window that was put in the trailer is actually a residential window and not a commercial window. So the window is not safe for travel, and it is not safe for food service because if the window breaks, it will shatter instead of.
Yeah. Now that sounds like a really easy thing to fix, though, right? You just have the glass. You just have it reglazed with laminated glass.
Well, not necessarily. The windows that are in our trailer they're residential home windows, and so they have to be removed, and the size of the window cutout on our trailer is a custom size, so the window has to be completely fabricated.
Why can't you just reglaze the windows in there with the right kind of glass?
That I don't know for sure.
Well, I know it can be done, Michelle. I'm positive it can be done because I have seen custom motorhomes that have done that.
I just know that they have to be approved by the food licensing, so it has to be a specific custom ordered window, and that's been what we've been told by multiple.
When you say food,
manufacturing
when you
companies.
say food, what does the food part of the inspection have to do with the window?
Because the glass has to be. It has to be safe in case it were to break so the window doesn't shatter.
I thought that was a DOT thing, not a food thing.
It's for food. It's part of the food licensing.
Really?
And our trailer,
okay.
Yes, our trailer, as it sits right now, will not pass inspection in any state, and it is supposed to be able to pass in every state.
How many windows?
It is one big window, but the windows in it right now are broken down into 3 sections. But
you said one big window with 3 sections?
One big cutout, yeah.
With 3 sections?
Yes, and it should just be one big window.
Michelle, I understand that you're frustrated, and this company has to do what they were contracted to do. And no one is going to disagree, even if it's not in writing, that it has to pass an inspection.
Mm-hmm.
No one would disagree. But listen to me, please. I promise you that unless this window is from outer space, there are people who can reglaze these windows to DOT standards that will not shatter. That will be the one with the like the windshields. They will be like that, but they will be in your fixed or in your sliders, whatever they are. There are people that can do anything like that. I'm just saying that you don't necessarily have to tear the damn thing apart and start over with windows. Now, I don't know why no one has mentioned that. There's not a piece of glass that can't be cut and fabricated for you. I mean, I would think you'd be happy with that. Have you looked into reglazing what is there?
We have not.
Okay, but that's a good custom. I mean, unless for some reason these frames do not meet standards for some reason. Are they aluminum? Are they plastic? What vinyl? What kind of frames?
They're plastic, and they're supposed to be metal.
That might be the problem right there, is that even if you reglazed them. Now, when you say supposed to be metal, again, is that this food licensing thing?
Yes.
It actually says that food vehicles must have aluminum or metal windows.
Yes.
Can you tell me where I can look at these? I am finding this so unbelievably hard to believe, not because I'm discrediting you, but I just find that impossible that they would get down to the material the window is made of.
Well, they do with the traveling with concession trailers because of the way they need to be contained. The guidelines for...
So wait a minute. So you're telling me that the entire window is plastic and it should have been metal. Why didn't they know that if they build custom food trucks?
Well, when we spoke to them, I believe it was either yesterday or the day before.
Well, I just want to know, what did they say about that? That alone.
They said that we didn't ask for a concession window, even though we were having a concession
trailer. It doesn't matter. It's a food trailer. I mean, what? It doesn't matter. I mean, are there any food trailers where that window would be allowed?
No, none.
Okay, I'm not fully convinced that you or those other people know what they're talking about right now. I need to call Denver Custom Food Truck. We really need to call them. Because I'll tell you right now, this is very confusing, and I can't believe they say you didn't order it. If they're building a food truck, the very first thing it should be is legal for food. So we're going to call, Dan, I want you to call them because you were in on every word while Daphne was making those other calls to the other people. So we'll come back and talk to both of you. Yeah, I want to help you with this. I also want to help my listeners, and that's why I have sponsors like the Raleigh House. Rehabilitation centers. How many people listening to me right now, how many know a drug addict? I'll bet you everyone does. I don't mean like maybe next door or your brother or sister, but you know a drug addict. In your circle, there will be a drug addict. If it's someone you know and love, please recommend the Raleigh House. But before you do that, call the Raleigh House, this special number. They have a caring, loving staff trained to help you communicate with the addict. Oh, you don't just say, hey, get into rehab, get over it. There are ways to approach them, ways to talk to them, find out what insurance covers, find out the impact on family and relationships, find out how they do it. Whether you're going to go there or not, find out about rehab. They do the medical with blood work, nutrients, supplements. They do the environmental, the psychological, individually and in groups. They deal with family and friends. They deal with financial triggers, family triggers, marriage triggers, and the cycle of abuse. They do it all. Call them, again, even if you don't ultimately plan to go there, to find out how to communicate the need for rehab. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. Multiple locations throughout Denver. I know them. I recommend them. TheRaleighHouse.com.
This report brought to you by Staples.
I-70 eastbound stop and go from...
You know, and not have it legal to sell food. That sounds kind of wacky. Let me get a chair because my spring is shock absorber. Is this one all right?
Yeah, grab whatever you can find there. I'm going to run it. I need cold right there. I agree. I mean, that's what it's built for, right?
Why have it closed? Because of the police situation there. And Havana in Denver remains closed between I-70 and Smith Road for an investigation. The weather forecast, the chance of showers after 1 o'clock today. We'll see a high of 75 degrees. Right now it's 70 degrees in Denver. Wait your traffic weather. Hank Carey, 630 KHOW.
Hey, I'm Lady Gaga, and I'm proud to announce that I'm teaming up with Staples. They're donating $2 million to DonorsChoose.org and Warm This Way Foundation. Together, we're working to create a more positive classroom experience. Learn more at staplesforstudents.org.
We've all heard about the amazing benefits of juicing, and it's true. Juicing helps you stay fit and trim. Juicing is great for boosting energy and vitality. There's just one catch, the cost. But what if you had a simple and affordable shortcut? Introducing the Organic Juice Cleanse. Every scoop is power-packed with over 20 organic, farm-fresh superfruits, berries, and fiber, plus clinically tested cranberry. Just scoop, shake, and go, and you'll feel great all day. Best of all, the Organic Cranberry Cleanse isn't just affordable. Today, it's free. That's right. Just pay for the shipping and we'll rush you a free bottle. Now, you can buy the Organic Cranberry Cleanse on Amazon. But for your free bottle, simply call Purity Products right now. Dial 1-800-362-6175. That's 1-800-362-6175. For your free organic cranberry cleanse, call now. 1-800-362-6175. That's 1-800-362-6175.
Wouldn't you say that's an assumption that it's got to pass?
Yeah, I mean, they're building
You didn't order a
food truck. You got to build. It's got to. There's something fishy about that, you know.
I don't think she's telling me everything.
In just one day. How? Using powerful technology, ZipRecruiter matches your job to the right candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you a needle in the haystack.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
Rockies baseball is back next week as your Rockies take on the Atlanta Braves.
Honey, whenever you tell me to call, I call immediately, and it almost always goes to voicemail.
Rockies ticket outlet, including Rockies.com. Vacation in your plans? You can still listen to Tom Martino. Download
Honey,
the
I called you right back. What's going on? Now I have to go back on. Doggone it. Okay. I gotta go. I'll call you back. Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. Approval reverse mortgage. If you're looking for a reverse mortgage, now who would be looking for one? You have to be 62 or older. I recommend much older, but that's up to you. You have to have a lot of equity.
And then what happens is you can borrow a portion of that equity to pay off your loan if you just don't want payments, or you can get cash, a line of credit, just for emergencies. That's fine. But don't do any of it unless it's right for you. And the only one who I trust to tell you that is Joan Sullivan. The other ones will just say, yeah, go ahead and do it. I'm saying Joan Sullivan will really take a look at the totality of your circumstances and advise you accordingly. She's with Approval Reverse Mortgage. ApprovalReverse.com. 303-771-3528. 771-3528. Okay. Now, have we made progress? Did you call Daphne on the reglazing? Daphne, hello. Oh, she's on. You were talking, did you call about reglazing?
I did not, but we got a lot of calls on that you can't get them reglazed. You have to have the frame and the window replaced. It can't just be a reglazing.
Well, how would people know that? What does that mean? I don't know of any that can't be reglazed. Are they saying the law doesn't allow it, or are they saying it's physically impossible, or are they saying it's not allowed? There's a difference.
That to get the certificate from the NSF, it has to be the frame and the window.
Okay, now, I said I'm not. National Science Foundation apparently does this. I sincerely doubt. I'm not saying it's not true. I don't know. But it just sounds impossible to me that they go to that length to dictate that much of a specification. But knowing government, maybe they do. It just sounds so outrageous to me that they and then what I don't understand is you can't reglaze them. So if they were metal windows, they could have reglazed them, right? Because metal is allowed. Is that what they're saying? Is it because of the plastic? Now, Dan, did you call? First of all, it shouldn't be Michelle's problem. Right. Michelle ordered a truck to be a food truck or a food trailer, and for God's sakes, you should pass basic inspections.
So I called them and went right to voicemail, so left a message. We'll see. God,
I mean, how do you build a trailer for food and then say, well, you didn't specify this or that? Now, Michelle, I want to get this straight. Now, any food trailer would need specific windows, right?
Yes.
And they said you didn't order it with those windows. Is that what they said?
Exactly.
Well,
and this isn't even the only. I mean, this is not the only reason we won't pass.
Well, did you order specific things on that truck? Did they give you a list of how they were? In other words, did you order refrigeration?
Yes.
Did you order freezing?
Yes.
Did you order a stove?
Ours is all cold, so we don't have any heating equipment.
Okay, but did you order any interior finish items?
We ordered the service window, a refrigerator, a freezer, prep table.
Okay, good. So that's good. So you ordered. In other words, you literally said one service window.
Yes.
And you gave the dimensions.
Yes.
Okay. Now they said to you, that doesn't pass because you didn't order the right one. Well, who the hell bought the window? They did, right?
Exactly.
Well, they can't say that to you, Michelle. They bought the window. Whether I agree with it or not doesn't matter. I mean, they bought the window. It needs to be what needs to be. They can't say you didn't order it right. Is that what they said? You did not order it correctly?
Exactly.
Okay, quickly, without going to blow by blow, in addition to the window, take some notes here, Dan. In addition to the window, what are the major deals it will not pass?
Okay, so we have a plumbing system with water tanks, and the water tanks do not drain into what they call a gray system, which is the wastewater.
Right.
Our wastewater drains directly from underneath the trailer. It goes straight out onto the ground, which is illegal in all 50 states.
Of course it is. They have a daylight drain for their gray water?
Yes.
They're idiots.
Yes.
Now, do you have a black water tank, or is that not required?
Just gray water.
Okay. Black water is for sewage, for those listening. Hold on a second, all right? We got a comment on a window. Go ahead, Jerry. What did you want to comment on?
So the window you're talking about is a vinyl window, and it's made to go in your house where you have a frame around it to support the window. The federal motor carriers will not allow a residential window to be installed in a vehicle going down the road.
Okay. Okay.
Makes sense.
That makes sense. Then that's why, I mean, I doubt it has anything to do with food, because there are plenty of restaurants with residential windows in them. But it must be all part of just the vehicle itself. And like I said, it doesn't matter. Michelle ordered what she ordered, and they need to make it so it passes inspection. That was just a side comment I had on windows. But I see what you're saying, Jerry. You know, because in a vehicle, that window does not have a frame around it at all. And those residential windows are made to be framed in, literally. They don't stand on their own. So I can see that. They have to be stressed. Now what do you do? Now what do you do? We got to get on their case. This is a big deal. What did you pay for this?
$33,000.
Why did... Okay, you didn't know you had the problem, so you paid for it, right?
Exactly.
But you didn't pay it all, right, Michelle?
Yeah, we paid the 50% up front to start.
How much did you pay total so far? Total?
$33,000. We have it completely paid for. And
do these people realize they have to fix it, or do they say no?
Well, when we've talked to them, they've stated that...
Quick, just quick. What did they say? They will fix it, but hold on. We'll come right back to you, okay? Because I need to take this break. I'm sorry I have to do this to you. This is a problem we need to help you with. We really do. God, this is terrible. Now, let's talk about Pro Auto Care. If you're looking to get your car serviced and maintained, take it where I take it. I take it to Pro Auto Care. They send me little love notes when I need things done because they keep track of my car for me like my car nanny. I really do love it. I don't only love the reminders and the car nanny thing. I love the honesty, the ethics behind that business, Al Aramis and his family. And I love the quality of work and the expertise. They really take it seriously. And they have roadside assistance in between every repair. Well, it's 3 years or 36,000 miles, so that's in between every repair for me, and it should be for you, right? And it really works. So when you want someone dependable and honest and a great value, plus free roadside assistance wherever you are in between repairs, that's nationwide, then call Pro Auto Care in 2 convenient locations, and they've been in business 25 years. They're in Littleton near Bowles and Santa Fe, just south a little near Arapahoe Community College, right on West Church, or on Dahlia. Now that's Evans and I-25. You go east a little on Evans, then north on Dahlia a block. 303-PRO-AUTO, 303-PRO-AUTO, and the website is the same, 303proauto.com.
This report brought to you by Staples.
I'm seeing some lunchtime congestion along I-70 westbound stop and go from...
They were paid for. Yeah.
25 northbound, a little bit of congestion from Highway 6 up to about open for you. 225 southbound, a little heavy traffic from the spillway down through Yosemite. C&E 470 you're checking out right now in the clear. Up in Lafayette, Baseline Road shut down to east of 107th due to a police situation. The weather forecast, a high of 75 and a chance of showers after 1 p.m. We'll dip down to 56 overnight. Right now it's 70 degrees in Denver. With your traffic.
Denver's fine in 15.
Hey, I'm Lady Gaga, and I'm proud to announce that I'm teaming up with Staples for Students. They're donating $2 million to DonorsChoose.org and More This Way Foundation.
Denver's fine in 5.
To create a more positive classroom experience. Learn more at staplesforstudents.org.
If you have aches and pains from arthritis or other nagging issues, the good news is there is help, and stem cell research is spreading like wildfire because it is so wonderful. And I'm glad to be hooked up with Stem Cell Institute of America, who did amazing things on my lower back. And I have some other surprising things to tell you about, like, honest to goodness, they have just come out after a lot of trials. They have come out with a system for growing hair with stem cells. Yep. They've been holding off on it, but they're ready. If you have thinning or missing hair, stem cells, they have shown remarkable qualities to fill in your scalp. They revitalize the follicles and grow new hair, because that's what stem cells do. They take on the nature of what they are around. I urge you to go to the must-attend free seminars to learn how to deal with pain and avoid surgery possibly. But the real deal is also just living better. And there's no obligation. They're all over the place. Denver, the Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, Fort Collins. Call them, okay? And then find out about hair growth. Yeah, not transplant, growth. 855-262-4040. 855-262-4040.
Coloradans 62 and older, are you not feeling as financially secure as you'd like to? Is cash flow tight? Are you retiring or experiencing a life change? And do you own your own home? Then consider a reverse mortgage from American Financing. Reverse mortgages are loans that pay you monthly by using the equity in your home. They also protect your spouse from possibly losing your home if you pass away. And FHA ensures that you never owe more than your house is worth. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and here are the facts. You benefit immediately from no monthly mortgage payments, and you have access to tax-free money, all while owning your home. That's right, you still own your home, but now have access to your equity when you need it most. With a reverse mortgage from American Financing, you can feel confident about living your golden years with financial comfort and security. Their mortgage consultants are salary-based, so conversations are simple, straightforward, and honest. Call American Financing today at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
There's a new 24/7 Bronco station that just hit the airwaves. Orange and Blue Radio at AM 760. John Elway. Elway, you're what? Terrell Davis. There he is. Terrell Davis. This is Shannon Sharp. Yes, sir. The all-new Orange and Blue Radio at AM 760. All Broncos, all the time. Energized by Onus IV Hydration Therapy. Now in location and opening underway at the DTC landmark. ONUS.
Michelle says she went to somebody else and paid probably a little over $8,000 to get it all fixed up to specs. So, okay.
You want to come back to my place for a cup of coffee?
And just to let you know, they're out in Virginia right now and traveling to Michigan with that trailer.
Honky-tonk woman. I'm Tom Martino. Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait for Michelle and her gangster raps, especially the low-carb option, but she's having problems with her food truck. Denver Custom Food Truck built her a trailer that won't pass inspection. So you were about to say something, Michelle, when I went to break. Finish up, please. And then we're not finished with you, though. We're going to still help. We're going to go after Denver Custom Food Trucks.
Yeah, no, there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be updated on the trailer in order to get it to pass.
So about $8,000, right? About $8,000? Well, that's good. And I mean, meaning it's good that you quantified it, so at least it's not a big, giant boogeyman.
Right, yeah. I mean, we've got entrance fees paid, at events we're supposed to be at. We're supposed to be at the Taste of Colorado over Labor Day weekend. That's the biggest event that we've booked thus far. And as our trailer sits right now, there's no way they'll even let us in. And so this needs to be rectified sooner rather than later.
Oh, man. So we will work with you. When are you going to be back?
Well, we are in Virginia right now, and we are supposed to be in Michigan next weekend for another festival, and then headed back to Denver for the Taste of Colorado after that. That's
right.
kind of our timeline right now.
Okay, so Dan's got your contact information. We'll stay in touch and try to help you any way we can. People, let them know you heard about him. Or let people know, Denver food truck, custom food truck. Let's figure out what's going on with it. What do you think about that, Mark Kranak, attorney at law, that they're saying, well, you didn't order it that way? I mean, how much should an owner be expected to spec out? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, they're building a food truck, and they're in the business, right, of building food trucks? I mean, you got to build a food truck that passes inspection. That's ridiculous. I mean,
of course. I mean, to say otherwise is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it was legally, I mean, there's all kinds of things. I mean, if it was consumer to merchant, you'd have a claim under the Uniform Commercial Code for sure. What's called failure to fitness for a particular purpose. Yeah, you can rely on the merchant basically to build the thing to meet your specs. You know, to meet your business. They're in the business of building food trucks. They've got to build a food truck that passes inspection. That's outrageous.
I know it. I know it's ridiculous. Norm, welcome. Hey, Norm, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. Hey, first of all, thanks for keeping the scumbags in line, man.
Thank you. Thanks. What's happening?
Hey, so my buddy's got me into this impound car auction thing, and I was thinking about flipping a couple of cars, but he also said to me that you can only sell 3 cars a year before you need a broker's license. Is that correct?
I don't think there's an actual number. But I've heard 4 before they start looking at you. Yeah, you have to, and yeah, I think a 4 would be the comfortable limit, and that's figuring on 1 per quarter. Right. Dan, is there an actual law?
I just see Colorado statutes, Title 12, Article 5 says 3.
It does actually say that.
3 per calendar year, yeah.
Okay, I did not know that. When was that enacted? What's the date on that? Because I was always told, you know, 3 or 4, and I didn't know there was an absolute 3, so we just found out. Thank you, Dan. But listen, you know, having a dealer's license, there are different ways to do it. Some you need, you actually need a display lot and some other requirements, and bonding, and a license and all that. There is another way, being a broker, where I don't believe you need the lot and all that other stuff. You might want to check into it.
All right. Yeah, I will. Thanks a lot, Tom.
All right, man. No problem. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. So, Mark Kranak, when it comes to your fitness for a particular purpose, as you said, that you really can't rely on when you buy things as is, though, all the time, can you? I mean...
No, and I think in the Uniform Commercial Code, that word "as is" has legal significance. It means you're buying the thing, whatever it is. If it you know, whatever you see there, that piece of material, whatever it is, that's what you're getting. As is means you're waiving your right to enforce, like the Uniform Commercial Code, or maybe even you know, anything else. You can't complain about it.
All right, we're out of time. Mark Kranak on a referral list, 303-999-3900. Save all your problems for me.
If you want luxury...
Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.